Welcome to the Codebreakers. This is Paradox.
And this is DC. What's up? What's up? What's up, man?
Back to back.
Man, back to back, man. But we had to do it, man. We had to do it, man, to clear some things up, to clear up the confusion, and then we can press on, man. But ain't nothing like a declaration. Ain't nothing like a declaration, man. I love it, bro. I love it. I love it.
To all the Codebreakers out there. It is April the 20th, and it's also Happy Weed Day.
Ooh.
For all the smokers out there.
Get your smoke on, man. So it is 420. Wow, ain't that something?
That's
fascinating.
That's funny.
Blow one, man.
Look, they at the mall. They at the mall, smoking weed on the mall, and then at the Capitol.
You already know.
They gonna do that tomorrow. Actually,
it's gonna be a weed out. Yeah, it's gonna be a weed out, man. Yeah. Smoke one. Yeah, man. I got 5 on it. So, man, let's not even delay, man. Let's give them what they want and get up on out of here.
Let's warm it up. Let's warm up a little bit. Let's warm up.
Let's get it lathered up, man. Let's get it. Let's get it.
I don't give a fuck where you lay at, nigga. It's time to slay these bitch man niggas. They ain't even knowing what type of niggas we is. Where my guns at? Gold thugs, I know you niggas been waiting for this for a long time. Well, here it is, nigga. Here it is. What you gonna do?
Well, I must be close to the Armageddon, Lord. No, that I won't fly by that lesson who taught me to pull out my west and you brought me. Get on my stress and it's softly. Get him about me, cause always when it was harming, it been bombing. And you're better my ghetto. I won't settle, get on my level. They can't stop me and pop me, nigga. They got me fucked up. Little pockets, schizophrenic. Let's manage the damage, die out. Look about to make you think I really wanna get the corner, and I want it enough jump. I'm gonna set a beat, and I shut them on down. So take the death, well, yes, they're war, blow, and they get the double, the murder, the horror. What the it's all for the cause, and I'm pulling out a little nigga with my fucking niggas is on. All your fuck is getting bitch to the death, and bless the floor, and then they can attempt to arrest and stress me. No, look at the death of the last of my breath, fall up on my kids, but don't see it in my death. It's kept the best of my secrets, even the leaves of a low nigga believe it, I can see it and even if you really want me, it wouldn't let me get the reason we running the fucking
let's pop it, nigga. Yeah, some motherfucking hands on your strap, nigga. Yeah, we can do this like gangsters and slug it out. We can do this like punks and punk it out. Pull your strap on me, nigga. You better kill me. Thug life, baby. I probably be punished for hard living. Blind to the facts. Thugs is convicts in God's prison. Hands on the strap. Praying so Father, please forgive me. Police be rushing when they see me. I flaunt it. America's most wanted. Live on TV like pleasure and pain. Stuck in this game. Holler my name. We all gon' die. We bleed through similar veins. Please explain to me now. Don't panic when my guns burst. You heard the last jam, nigga. This one's worse. My nigga Bone held the chrome till I came home. Thug love player. Tell these bitch niggas bring it on. I caught a plane out to Cleveland late last evening to help my niggas clean up some niggas no longer breathing now. Who do you believe in? Hit the weed and breathe. It's a cold ass world, niggas. Kill you in your sleep. Watch me until they stop me, bury, murder me or drop me. I got thug love for my nation while I bust it, feel me?
Yeah. They scared to come outside. Tell them boys they better pray. Tell them boys stay out the way. Tell them ain't nobody safe on my mama, on my gang. We gon' put it in their face. Yeah. They scared to come outside.
Niggas know we stepping 9 day. God know I'm stepping now and later. Until it hurts, it ain't no mercy, that's just how we made it. You heard that church up in my face, it's God, that's how I raised. I told God he gotta forgive me, I'm insane, oh. Get down on my knees when I'm in pain, oh. Tired of the rain on my name.
I clean this blood off my Jesus' feet.
Oh, Jesus. Can you feel my needs? Yeah. Tired of fucking up, I'm in the streets. Yeah. Trying to take the weight that's hurt inside of me.
Scared to come outside.
God, I need a second chance. Knowing that I love you, but sometimes I do the devil dance. Lost a couple of my partners, so I'm sliding out of whoever ain't. Drop one of them niggas when I kill them, called the reverend. Yeah. Cause no weapon formed against me shall prosper, yeah. Yeah, I know I'm clutching on this chopper, yeah. Waiting on them boys outside.
Scared to come outside.
Ooh, yeah.
Niggas always stepping night and day. Niggas always stepping out and later. Till it hurts, it ain't no mercy, that's just how we made. Change up in my vices, that's just how we made. Though I feel cursed, I pray for better days. Seems like yesterday we was catching plays, and it's been hard on me lately, I can't catch a break. I'm losing niggas on the day to day. Every day I pray, only God can take this hate away. Lord knows if I see him, I'm gonna have to spray. Now that same spot I seen him is the spot he lay. I clean his blood on my Jesus, please. Jesus, please, say there's a heaven for a real one. I had to smoke him, even Moses had to kill one. Do it for the bills, I swear this shit is getting ill. They said to come outside.
Ooh, yeah.
Niggas always stepping night and day.
No, I'm stepping night and day.
Always stepping out and day. First, it ain't no mercy, that's just how we made. Church up in my verses, that's just how we made.
Oh, you hear that church up in my burger, that's just how I'm raised. Glock off in my britches, that's just how I'm came. Keep a 30 on me, nigga, don't get out the way.
Yeah. Let's get it.
They wanna come outside. Ooh, yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Do you like is it not Roddy Rich? What's that kid name? He got that same style. He be having these young people going crazy, having crying and everything. What's that kid's name? I forgot that clip.
Big
boy.
Big boy.
Yeah, he's tough, boy.
Yeah.
Hey, that's tough.
Yeah, I forget
Different.
his name. He ever came out recently, but yeah. I know you're talking about.
Yeah, he got it going crazy, bro.
Yeah, he got that.
My little nephew, them, they playing that. They on that like crazy.
Yeah, they're on that tough, man. Yeah, that like I got put on a Mo 3 a little late, man. I joined. I'm like, oh, this is
that's serious.
God, gotta forgive me. I know I like to do the devil dance.
Yeah, that thing was
Word.
We don't got the. I wish they would promote more of that style, more of that real talent.
Yeah.
So much talent out there, but they want to put on the nonsense. The dumb stuff.
They want to put on the sleep and the drowsy and the sexual, innuendo kind of rap, that kind of thing. You know what I'm saying? So let's get it, man. Let's go ahead and there's been a lot of kind of like issues going back and forth. Oh man, craziness, man. But like I'm big on setting the record straight. And correcting things that are misconstrued, because that's just in me, man. Yeah, that's just in me, man. I want people to declare themselves, state your thing. Okay, cool. That's what it is. So we're gonna go through it, because I think that there's some misconceptions about what me and Paradox do on this particular program. This is our shit. Number one, this ain't nobody else making the decision. This is what we decide to do. You can make a comment. You can decide whether you want to watch or not. You do not have to watch this program at all. You don't have to subscribe to us. You don't have to be here for the benefit of listening because somebody told you to listen to us. You should be here because you want to be here and you get something out of the program. Period.
And if we want to talk about puppies, and building fence posts, motherfuckers, we can talk about the shit. You don't dictate what we are, who we are, and how we operate.
Absolutely
really,
not.
One. I can talk about whatever the fuck I want to talk about. You're irrelevant. You trying to structure a position like you're dictating what I should be doing based on what your dumb ass is thinking. Get the fuck out of here.
So let's go ahead and pull it up, man. We're gonna go through this really, really quick. We're not gonna be here long. Like I said, we got things to do. So the link, I think I gotta eat
my pork. I gotta eat my hands.
The link has been dropped. Anybody that feel like they want to come up and have a discussion, like I say, y'all can have a discussion. It doesn't matter. But this is just specifically because there were some things said about what we do that was totally incorrect, false, negative, and it's basically pushing. It's pushing parody.
No trouble.
It's pushing a parody.
No trouble.
Let's get into it, bro. Let's go. But I'm glad that this actually happened, though. I'm glad.
All right, we're live. It probably have more people watch us. All right. Ooh, the wrong thing. Okay, I don't want that. Lead. Leave that one.
Possibly so.
You think he's
I don't know why they go through this inviting us and Darren's calling us out and making us wait 3 hours.
Pause it right there. Pause it right there.
Okay, hold on a second.
So this whole inviting business, that's not exactly what happened. Here's what happened. Here's the truth. There's been a back and forth or whatever between me and BGS in particular, as far as certain topics, the election and everything that went on this past November or whatever. So we had like a major disagreement on Art New Style a long time ago. I thought that basically all of that was basically cleared. I cleared it with Art. I cleared it with a lot of brothers, man. Me and Charles, we don't have no issue. I thought me and Ed didn't have any issues. The stuff that me and BGS has is really, I just kept it at the disagreement level. I didn't really want it to be to the point where it is now, but we're here now. What I was concerned about was that they keep talking about our program and we don't bring them up. We don't talk about them. I don't watch your programs. I don't watch you guys' content. That's the truth. I do not. But anytime that I do come across it, and then I hear my name being brought up as far as like something that I said that is not actually true. So that's why I said, well, if it's like a little innuendo, it seems like, this pedestrian thing, I mean, I told you they call us pedestrians and civilians. That's fine. That's cool. But if you have an issue with what we're saying, bring it forth. State your case. What are we saying that is not actually accurate or something of that nature? So now it's that we don't go deep enough. Okay, cool. We'll get into that a little bit later. But before that was actually an issue, I told them basically, hey, look, I don't have a problem with this going back and forth. As long as you clip me and you basically describe what we're talking about accurately, I have no issues with any of this. Period. You could disagree. You don't have to agree with none that we say on the Codebreakers. Period. In fact, we invite disagreement. So when I went there onto the platform and I heard them speaking about it, I'm like, yo, is this about us? And then basically BGS responded, said that, yeah, well, I basically tried with you guys and this and that. I'm like, what are you talking about? Like that's not no big issue, bro. Like, look, if you have an issue, you can always come to our program, and when we drop the link, you can come up and state the case of what you have a disagreement about. That was what I actually said. That was what took place. So this invite, like I was going to create a program where UNAB was going to come on, and we did the program strictly for you. That's not what transpired. I say when we drop the link, you're more than welcome to come up. If you have an issue with what we're saying on the program, that is what I said, BGS. That's what I said in the comments. That's what I said basically in your chat. I have been very, very clear with everybody that ever come to this particular channel that want to actually speak to us directly. You can have at it. You do not have to basically mince words or try to prove a point, this and that other. We don't care about none of that. You can bring your points to the foray and we can discuss. You have done that before. We have had our back and forths. It has been what it was, and then we moved on. That's what I thought it was going to be. So go ahead and play, man. That's really what happened. It wasn't like no invite. We wasn't going to plan a program about doing anything about what DGS and them were talking
hold on,
about.
let me come back in.
None of that kind of thing.
Back in. Because it's on the right side.
Huh?
It'll be on the right side. I know what I'm looking for.
Oh, you looking for the simulcast stream? Is that what you look for?
Yeah.
Oh, I think I have to hit a switch. I think. Oh, you wanted the simulcast to Warning Kings and Queens.
Okay.
That's how far right he is. He's an authoritarian. Come on up and all this kind of stuff. And
are you in the back? Ready for my show later.
Okay. Yeah, but then they called us out. They said they want us to. They wanted us to come on up and all this kind of stuff. And
are you in the back?
Huh? Now I was in the chat. I went in the back, but
okay.
I didn't even hit the link coming in the back. I was waiting to see if they were gonna call anybody up. But Paradox is not keen on that, so it's probably what it is.
Yeah.
He didn't like the conflict, you know. I don't know why DC just didn't host it himself. You want to smoke and all that kind of stuff. But anyway, let's go ahead and listen in a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
Let me see.
No, he's not on there.
Yeah, that's not it. Yeah, I didn't think.
My bad. They had his picture though. He had his picture in here. So.
Jasmine Crockett, with those two white women, man. I hate that shit because I was I was a member of Pacific.
Rewind it a little bit right here. Rewind it a little bit right here.
Thank you, with Jasmine Crockett. Now the
picture in here. So, is it this one then maybe?
I don't understand it.
This white guy right here.
I don't understand the choices of why they pick what they pick, even with Jasmine Crockett. Now the thing I saw with Jasmine Crockett, with those two white women, man. I hate that shit because I was how long was a member of Pacifica from 89?
Pause it right here. Pause it right here. Why are you dictating our content? If we want to talk about Jasmine Crockett for 5-6 hours on a program, we had the prerogative to do that. I don't understand that. And we didn't even talk about her most of that program. like we talked about all kinds of different things on that particular program. MTG, we went over MTG. We talked about the case with the Carmelo case out on Frisco. We talked about a lot of different things during the stream. You parse away that like we talk about Jasmine Crockett for the whole program. That's just false. That's not true. That's not what happened. So go ahead, man. Let's play it, man. Anybody that goes back and listen to it, they'll see that.
Well, after 2001, 2003, and them little white women, the liberal white women that smiled and winked with the firebrand black women, man, I've been seeing that shit for years. I got tired of that shit. That's why I call them limousine liberals. Why they kiss up to you and blah 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 and push you out when you fight for their cause, but they'll also stab you in the back too.
Yeah.
So I know that's why. I'm sure she knows it too. Go ahead.
That's one of the reasons I've given up on the Democrat Party. And let them rock. Yeah.
Yeah, and the black one always kid, you're so nice, and they give them little tea and crumpets and stuff like that, and black women smile and they feel validated and stuff like that. And let's push Keisha out there and let her say it because she's better at saying it than we are. We're too genteel we're not as.
So dude's name Hakeem Jeffries.
Yeah, right. Doesn't like Nick Fuentes is because of right wing. Okay, that is not conservative. That is libertarian.
Well, the closest you have to it, it's not as aggressive, but the closest you have to it is like a Richard Spencer type.
That's all we get.
Yeah.
And they're hiding. They're all hiding. They're all pale skin, hardcore. I want a Viking.
Okay.
Yeah.
Those are Russians. Okay. You want those kind of people, those kind of Nordic people. Those are Russians. Okay.
But we cannot get
just a little bit. Jake, why are you leading this post?
I mean, forever. And we are in a beautiful moment in history right now where Trump is in power and they're able to.
But the truth is that is what's happening, bro.
Because I know what's
happening. You could skip through this because they just pick it back.
I don't know why this guy is important. Yeah, he's going to protest. Well, I don't even know who this guy is.
And show up and show support for senseless violence. This is senseless violence, and they've stolen that from us. Part of the state,
of course,
Jewish by bloodline. but the original reboot of the Conservative was a Jewish guy.
Okay.
So European, I just watching it wasn't like a Trayvon Martin, where only maybe. And black folks are just as bad as the white folks.
That's what I'm saying. I see bullshit on both sides in this case.
He's playing his role, yeah. That motherfucker's from Missouri. He knows exactly what. 3 fucking hours, okay, to have a comment.
That's it. We wind it back.
Oh, good. That's what I did. But the thing is, you came to my channel, said we need to show up when you drop the link, right?
Nope, that's not what happened. Pause right here. Pause right here. See, that's what I'm saying. See, that's why I'm saying about conflating different things. I told BGS, dude, if you have an issue, you can feel free to come to our particular channel and drop your grievance at that time when we drop the link. We don't drop the link at the behest of you. We're not doing a program for you. This particular program is a response to you. The actual link is in the chat. Do what you will with it. But like I say, man, that kind of deal where these people come up here and they just misappropriate what took place and what happened, that is not accurate. I have been telling these dudes, yo, just keep me out of it. Keep my name and keep me and Paradox out of it, dude. We don't listen to you guys. We don't care about what your thought pattern is. It's what it is, man. You guys focus on a different kind of thing. What me and Paradox do is in a different kind of stream, different kind of level. You think it's surface level. We think what you doing is stagnant. It doesn't matter, bruh. Like, you don't dictate what we do over here. Like that's what I'm getting out of this. Like, you're talking, like you're critiquing us like we should be doing something else. Who the fuck are you to tell us what we should be doing, bro? That's crazy work. I don't understand that. We never asked you for any advice, BGS. You're not going to find it. You're not going to find us emailing you saying, hey, Master Teacher, please, can you tell us what we should talk about, how we should do our channel, how we can grow it? We never asked any of that, ever. That's not what we're on. If you listen to our program, you listen to it. If you don't, you don't. You don't have to listen to us. I stand on that. Paradox stands on that. When T was here, he stands on that. This kind of stuff that what they're doing, like making arguments that we never made, that's bullshit, man. Like, that's crazy. And I'm trying to still figure out the stuff that you're saying about this. Like, when we brought up the Jasmine Crockett thing, we brought up the Jasmine Crockett thing for a particular reason. That's what me and Paradox talks about. The dichotomy between the left and the right. Having a discussion between two brothers that known each other, that are friends, that can have a disagreement, a staunch disagreement, but be able to bring it forth and have people see how that can actually really work when you're not being disingenuous and you keeping it real. You can see points when there needs to be a concession. You don't keep the bullshit going because you want to be right. You want to be right about everything. You want to be like, oh no, I'm the person that knows all. I'm the person that knows, have all the knowledge. I'm the person that's interpreting all of this. I'm the person that's basically bringing everything to the forefront. That's bullshit. It always has been. And that's why I'm glad that it's been declared now. Because if it's just funny to me, because like I said, where's the disagreement? You're saying the very same things that me and Paradox talk about all the time. All the time. Like, we don't have the same view when it comes down to geopolitics. We had that disagreement about 8 years ago. That's been clear. You know, you think China is this big conglomerate that's going to take over the world. It's not other. Me and Paradox don't share that view. We laid that out to you a long time ago. No issues. We let you rock with that, even though we know that some of the information you say is just basically propaganda. We know that. But you're trying to say, oh, well, we're going to get to it, but I'm getting a little ahead of myself, man. I'm a little excited. But the Richard Wolf, listen to Richard Wolf, they don't listen to David. I'm like, what?
Richard Wolf is a fucking clown. And
I'm like,
from Harvard?
Are you for real, bro?
Right.
Like, are you serious? And you got
but pushing Russian and Chinese propagandas as an American in itself is fucking disgusting.
I try to let
and every dirty Negro and every dirty cracker that pushes Chinese propaganda is a piece of shit anyway, in my opinion. I love my country, fucking dumbasses.
And they're gonna try to leverage. You're gonna try to leverage. Well, I know people that's truly in the belt. I have asked these dudes, Sauchi, meet us, and like I said, I have told them. You can meet me in Paradox, bro. We're around. No, I'm not hard to find, bro. Like I said, like, yo, and we can have a proper discussion. I guarantee you, any of these dudes, you say, oh, well, they're insiders and they in DC and all this type of stuff. Dude, you ain't never been here. You never been to DC. You don't understand how it works. So we're going to get to all of this and the election and all this. Well, Kamala barely, Kamala shouldn't have ran and she's all this. That's what I'm saying. That's fake. That's the fake shit. That's not reality. And he sell it to his audience like it is. And that's what I'm saying. Like, yo, well, dude, the woman has, let me say this though. The woman has the third most votes that ever had happened in an election. That is not no fluke, bro. That is not like somebody she lost, bro. She lost fair and square, dude. Yo, Trump had white women. Hold on, Trump had white women come out for her, which we talked about, by the way, all throughout the election cycle. We talked about how numerous that was.
It wasn't no Reagan vision. I'm on the right, and the right. We over here gaslighting each other. But I always tell my friends on the right, I said it wasn't Reagan though. A real sweep is Reagan, not worrying about swing states. He took all the states.
We did 3 programs, bro. 3 of them, of me saying how wrong I was about the election, about Kamala winning. We went all over about what you're talking about, the Democrats being split. I told you that, BGS. I'm the one that said that to you. That's why it irritates me, because I'm the one that said there's a split in the party. Anybody that remembers those particular hangouts know that I said that. I said there was an issue in the party that a lot of people did not want her to be able to run. And you're going to remix that and run it back like you came up with that idea originally when you're the basically fighting against that. It's all on record, bro.
He's not original. He's a parrot.
But what I'm saying is, though, I tried to avoid this. I don't have to take credit for the analysis that we have and this and that other. I just told you what I knew. And then, they said this all, but dude, me and Paradox was talking about that during the election cycle. Don't know why they won't run through the tape on race. Don't know why they would do these type of things. This and that other. Yeah, did I think she was going to win? Yeah, I thought she was going to win. I thought that basically she was going to have enough of the white women electorate to actually push over. I was wrong on that. I have already spoken about this. But were we wrong about the analysis? Were we wrong about what was basically happening in the Democratic Party? Were we wrong about the insides and the outsides of what's going on in Washington? Absolutely not. And if you can pull the clip where we're wrong on that,
the thing is that there is no clip. Again, like you said. Well, we won't throw shots back and forth, but we went into detail about what was going on in the party. So we don't got to relitigate that again.
Go ahead and play.
Calling us out on the exact same thing, right? And we wait 3 fucking hours, to have a comment. As you go back and forth on whatever you're talking about.
So what, nigga? Wait. The fuck.
So hold on. What? So this is what you're gonna do. We drop the link. So you wait that long. We drop the link finally, and I'm saying anybody has a disagreement, come up. This and that other. That is basically speaking to you guys. Come on up and speak to us. Because we're going to get to the truth in a minute, because what happened is the last time that y'all came up and spoke, you got your head chopped off. I know you didn't like it, but the only reason why I came with that aggression is because you be disingenuous when you talk to us. You see what I'm saying? You don't even know. Paradox spared you guys. He's like, nah, man, be easy. Be easy on them. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna share that because that dude, I wanted to Ned Stark you. Bottom line. But it didn't have to be this way. That's what I'm saying. Like, for the sake of Art New Style, and I know Art don't like me doing this, and that's my brother. I got love for Art. This has got nothing to do with Art. This don't got nothing to do with Mike V. This don't got nothing to do with the Black Brain Trust. We are completely separate from them. This is not motivated by anything, bro. This is just this. I can't take the misappropriation. Paradox don't give a shit about that. He think that y'all are cold and it doesn't, y'all just funds and games. It doesn't matter. Shits and giggles for him. You know what I mean? But I don't want our talking points to be misappropriated as something that we're not. Like, the integrity of our program is the integrity of our program. If we say something, we stand on that shit. And if we're wrong, we're wrong. We don't keep going on with the bullshit. We're not here to try to, prove ourselves right. That's not what's going on, man. But if we're accurate about something, I'm saying if we're right about something, then we're going to hold on to that. And that's what it's going to be, because that's what it is. The concession has already been made about the fucking election, bro. That shit was in November. We're already almost 6 months in. We're almost half the year in now. We're going into May. Niggas still trying to take a victory lap on a damn election. We moved on past that. We literally moved on past that. And we talked about it. Like, dude, 50-50, there were all kinds of idiots that basically said Trump was going to win. You think that that's some kind of, golden parachute? You get a win for that? Come on, man. That's crazy work. Come on, man. And you know what's so crazy about it, bro? What's so crazy about it, right? Is that I may bring just to really hone in on how close this election was. I may hone in on those swing states. It ain't a blowout. It ain't a blowout like you guys think it is, bro. That's not accurate. It's not what you guys think it is. And that's how I know that you guys don't really take an analysis and take a look at these things. It's just doing the work, being accurate as possible. We the ones that run the numbers. We're the ones that pull up the maps. We're the ones looking at the hardcore numbers. Fuck the polls at that particular point. It's just it's crazy, man. That guy's it's just crazy because I'm like, man, do they even listen to us?
I'm not gonna relitigate the election stuff, bro. If you don't know the breakdown of the numbers and you're parroting Fox News and MSNBC talking points, then that's your stupidity. But people who really do politics and dig into politics, it's a lot of things that are happening. It doesn't really matter who wins or loses. Don't even really care in a lot of ways who wins or loses. Really, it's really just about the analysis of how elections operate, who stays home, who decides to vote, how do things ebb and flow. That's really the more exciting parts anyway. To be honest with you, worrying about who won or who lost is really in a lot of ways less relevant to me, at least. Maybe to you, I don't know. But to me, at least, it's more about the excitement and enjoyment of just having a democracy and having people to be able to vote. And how do you excite people to vote? The mistakes the Democratic Party made, the mistakes the Republican Party didn't even want Donald Trump. You know what I'm saying? So it's a lot of things happening, and that's the excitement part about even just talking about politics. Really, it's not even about because, like you said, there is no equivalency to us and them. We're not equal on any level in any type of way. It doesn't. They're like I told you, they're fodder. They're irrelevant. They're lines in the code. I keep telling you that. These people don't move nothing. You don't pass laws. You don't run the financial industry. You don't run nothing global. You're irrelevant. You're nothingness. That's why I told you I'd rather just get physical. Forget all the other the chop it up and the talking, Jay. We can't.
We good. We could, man. This is just. I
told you I don't do the internet thing. Let's get on a plane and meet up somewhere and let's make it real.
We could
because the rest of it, the talking is on. What does that mean? What that mean?
I know. You get to the door. No, we good. We good. We Gucci, dog. Yeah, this man is 70. This man is 70 years old. You know, AB is part of his clique, whatever they rock, where they okay, whatever.
Yeah, but a lot of it's faggot. I mean, it really is faggot shit, to be honest with you. It ain't even, it's really when it boils down to it. I mean, I don't really care. We're just trying to learn.
I know.
Get information, have conversations. I really, I told you, we did this channel for me just to holler at you, really. If people choose to listen in, great.
I know.
That's why I don't give a fuck about the comments, what you're saying, because it doesn't really matter. I really holler at you. We chop it up and we laugh and fuck around and play. You know what I'm saying? We just fuck around and shit and just have a good time in a lot of ways, really, with some information and talk about different things that are more serious. But as far as like irrelevant people's opinions, that shit is goofy, if anything. Extremely goofy, to be totally honest with you. And weird, by the way, and strange and unusual.
It's just like, I can see if we asked for the help. We never asked you for anything, BGS. We never asked you to put us on the community tab. We never asked you to do any of that. Not once, bruh. You cannot find one time that we ever done that.
But who are you for you to matter? That's like I keep telling you.
We don't care about that. We are under 1,000 subs. We do not care.
And we're okay. And you know what? And it's okay. It's the internet. We're just having conversations. Back in the day, we used to do the chat boards and the blogs and stuff, and the chat rooms and stuff, and just talking. It's all good, baby.
Oh my God, man, this is crazy. And I'm like telling him like, oh, nobody ever heard of Codebreakers until I actually brought them on and put them in my community tab. I'm like, bro, do you know that we interviewed Tom? I mean, just not even just trying to brag, but dude, we was on a whole other network. We was down, we was Scotty. We had a whole other group of people that listen to us. They probably didn't even know that we had a YouTube page, because guess what? We did not broadcast that like, oh, come here and here is when we started our YouTube page. We don't do that type of stuff.
We don't ask for money, donations. We don't have no Patreon. We're not practicing no capitalism here.
Exactly. Exactly. So keep the shenanigans,
you to do nothing. We're not trying to make you do nothing. We're not trying to be nothing that you want us. This is weirdo, man.
Keep your advice. Keep your advice, man. Keep your advice, man. Not warranted. Not needed. Yeah. Our subjects are our subjects.
But like I said, psychologically speaking, though, if the internet makes you become something or makes you think that you're something, and it loops you and it feeds your ego, and you feel important in your life, I don't really know honestly what any of these weirdos are thinking, but I'm just saying, like, it's just not. It doesn't make it. Honestly, I'm trying to tell you. I try to think of it logically, but my mind just can't process.
Oh man, unbelievable, bro. Unbelievable. BGS, you drew first blood, bro. You drew first blood. This did not have to happen. This did not have to happen, man. Go ahead and play, man. We're gonna get to the good part in a minute.
Yeah, they're over 3 hours in.
Damn, I wasn't even watching, but yeah, okay.
Yeah, they were 3 hours in, and you called us out.
Mm-hmm. Called me out last week.
Yeah.
The thing was that they were simping so hard for Jasmine. I was like, you know what? There's no point in me getting involved in this conversation. I'm gonna let them make themselves look stupid.
Yeah, I don't get their trashing the Jasmine Crockett. I really don't. I mean, because she's loud and obnoxious. Is that it? Okay. Because what substance do you really have?
As much as I hate the Democrats, I've met too many black congresswomen, and those women, she doesn't compare. There's no comparison to the ones I've actually met.
Like I said, I've been knowing. And Maxine Waters is pretty boisterous, okay?
Yeah.
Nowhere to the level of this kind of shit, man. She would never, she says some stuff, but she's nowhere to the level of this kind of, I can't say coonery, if that's the word.
Coonery.
Because she's straight up cooning.
You hear this paradox? That's what I'm saying. This type of stuff.
I mean, I heard two fucking idiots talking. I'm not saying shit.
It's insanity, bruh. This is insanity.
But you know what though? We should, they have inspired me though. Maybe, and I don't really care, but maybe we should do a whole show on Jasmine Crockett and all her credentials and her background, and maybe we can say why we like her. I mostly like all black people. I don't really care. Really, generally speaking, except for a hand.
You know what he's going to do? He's going to find confirmation bias clips. I can already tell you what this video is going to be. He's going to find all the confirmation bias clips that he can find that's going to do a hit job on Jasmine Crockett, and he's going to say, "Look, she don't really do anything in Congress." This lady, it's
She's
really
just a congressperson. It's not that serious.
And I said
matter of fact, I won't even allow you. We're not even going to elevate a person who isn't even there yet to be elevated. I mean, it's who's having these conversations anyway? I mean, why would you be so sensitive that we're talking about some random individual? What's the sensitivity part about? You're narrating something falsely, ignorantly, foolishly. But we can do a program on Jasmine or any congressperson. They're in Congress. They pass laws, they vote on laws. So it doesn't
want to.
I mean,
anytime we want to.
Of course, pick whoever we want to pick. Anybody.
Anytime we want to. You don't.
I prefer to focus on people who have much more power. Nancy Pelosi, people like that. I mean, obviously, but we talk about that all the time. I mean,
we do.
It's like it's so reductionist. I mean, it's weird, honestly. It's like, it's literally fraudulent, to be honest with you. Can we sue? Are we able to sue? Can we do that? Because we can't get physical. It feels almost slanderous.
It's all right. It's all right. It's all right, Paradox, man. It's all right, man. Listen, like I said, man, I want to clear the record because, like I said, I don't like to be lied on. I don't like to be misappropriated. So this is clearing out what our views are, what we meant, this and that other, and this is clearing all the bullshit. That's why I'm glad you declared yourself. See, you played yourself.
But even that, hold up. Let me put I know you may have a different opinion about it. I don't care if a black woman or a black man or anybody black, if they're loud or quiet, if they're ghetto or not. I love all of it. Doesn't really bother me either way. So I'm not going to frame a black person because of how they sound, how they talk, how they behave in any particular way. I'm not going to slander. I'm not going to do that to people, just generally speaking. Now, if you attack me, that's a whole nother, conflict or something differently. But am I just going to, do we have any videos where we just randomly put up a black person and just started going after them that's prominent in any type of way in politics based off of how they be, you know what I'm saying? Like how they,
we try our best not to.
We may tease a little bit and joke a little bit.
We'll disagree. We'll disagree.
Literally. I'm not gonna literally go crazy.
Nah.
On a politician like in that way. Because I have issues with Obama. I tease Obama. I love Michelle obviously, but I tease Obama all the time because he's in the mix.
Mm-hmm.
He's very powerful. But just to those weird things about people being, certain ways is, like I said, I don't even want to do comparisons at this point, but
yeah, it's not necessary. it's not necessary.
But I don't really have issue with black culture in general. So you can be ghetto, you can be proper. I've been around all of it, and it is what it is at the end of the day.
Well, I'm still waiting for the thing that they disagree with. She don't talk about black men in a kind of negative way. She don't disparage
what if she did?
The kind of deal. So but what I'm saying is I can understand that because of the positioning that some of these guys take, but just being mad at her because
fuck what they think. They don't move nothing. What the fuck does it matter? You think you stopping feminism, motherfucker? Fuck out. What are you talking about? Dumbasses. When you concede the country's fucking liberal, meaning that all people.
You go to hold on. You get the head. We get the head. I know it's crazy. It is. I know it's crazy.
Marjorie Taylor Greene, loud, obnoxious, ghetto, hood,
right,
ratchet, trailer park,
exactly,
retarded, mentally ill, dumb,
exactly.
So what though?
Exactly.
So what? It's entertaining.
And when she go policy for policy with Jasmine Crockett, the truth is she gets the floor mopped on her. Period, bruh. Right. Period. It is what it is.
And by the way, DC, I know you might be. I love black women. I love how they behave in any type of way. I would cape for black men, black women, black children, black grandparents, my mother, my father, everybody. You know, so that's just, you know, it's all good.
No,
because I'm gonna tell you why I say that though. Every
part of the gynocracy, man. We're defending.
I don't give a fuck about all that weirdo shit. That's weirdo freakazoids. I don't give a fuck about that shit. I'm just saying that all over the world you have cultures of all different types: poverty, middle class, upper class, rich, imperial. You know, sultans and kings and people of all levels talk, behave a certain ways. It doesn't. I don't. You know, like I told you, I don't. It doesn't.
I try to spare these guys, man. That's what I'm saying. Like.
Whatever, bro.
That's what I said. Like,
you don't control society. You don't manage society. You don't stop nothing. I mean, it's just retarded, bro. You just whack.
We were the wrong ones, man. We are the wrong people.
It's low hanging. Like, we are the wrong people, bro. Talk about their own people.
We're the wrong people, man. Like I said, man. Like, I understand that you like,
hey, see, hold up, DC.
intellectually posturing against
really,
people.
Hold up, DC. You think it really matters? You think it really matters to me on any level that some goofy ass black dude says Jasmine Crockett is loud? What the fuck are you? What does that even mean? What? Right? What are you gonna do about it? Not a goddamn thing, but jack off. What are you gonna do about it? Nothing. Shit, fucking cowards.
I tried, man. Like I said, I
can't stand faggots though, man. It's that faggot shit, bro.
This is not happening. It's just like, Joe.
You mad because you bitch made. You mad because you bitch made. You mad because you can't control black women. So you want to get on the internet for 20 years and be basically a fucking faggot talking shit, but you can't do shit though. You can't move shit though.
This goes back. I remember when I first told you about the men's space, how it was here. And
right.
You said,
and as soon as I heard it, a bunch of freak weirdos and faggots.
Sound like some weirdo shit. And I said, nah. I said some good brothers over there, man. You know, stuff like that. And this is before the man, manosphere.
I don't care about none of that shit.
I know you
that weirdo freak shit. You a faggot. You a bitch made faggot to me. I don't give a fuck what you talking about, really.
I know you don't care, bro. I know you don't care.
We're gonna try.
We're gonna try to keep the stream up, man. We're gonna try to keep.
But my thing is that you got to do something, though. You ain't gonna do nothing.
Gotta get
you
to
just another faggot ass nigga talking.
But see,
it's some same bitch made dudes that I was in college with, that I was in high school. It's some same faggot ass motherfuckers that do a lot of goddamn yapping like bitches and faggots, but won't move nothing though. I want to see you. I want physicality. Move something. Do something.
Like I said, man.
All this fucking talking. They got me talking.
I know.
They got me out here feminizing.
You turned up, man. That's cool. Calm down. We good. We gonna keep it. We're gonna keep it within the guidelines of YouTube. This is just commentary.
It's whole shit though. We grown ass men, bro. Why are you worried about us? Why don't you go suck on your mama's titty? You worrying about us and shit. Suck your mama's fucking titty, you fucking bitch. It's weird, bro.
I agree. But we were the wrong ones.
Go suck on your fucking mama's titty, man.
Like this.
You know what's so funny about it though? We was raised by strong men, and in the same age group, but not tolerate this shit. They wouldn't tolerate this shit. Could have been got your ass whooped. Your gay ass on the internet whining about women and shit all the time like a fucking faggot, but you won't do shit. You can't move shit. The fuck are we talking about right now, bro?
So let's skip through this, man, because they're gonna get to the good part where they basically have the main commentary with us. And
the thing is, Maxine Waters say if what's his name, Congress together? Come on, the link again.
They used to share
3 weeks yet, okay? And people blowing up, man, like this has been going on for years.
They had that one dude standing up there talking about we blame the school and we're gonna. What about what the schools? I'm like, okay. That's why I'm just sitting back. I'm like, okay, let me just step back and watch what happens.
Watch what happens. Yeah, I mean, there's only so much. Well, anybody's ever gone to school. There's only so much the school can do. Okay.
Pause real quick.
Yeah.
Pause real quick. From Paradox. Hey, Chaos. I see you in the chat, bro. What's up with you, Chaos? What? How did you get to this point where you basically talking shit on us, bro? I'm kind of curious, man. I thought me. Now this don't got anything to do with you, Paradox. You don't know who this guy is, but I'm just saying, Chaos, man. What's up with you, bro? I'm curious to hear what you have to say, especially because you be sitting up there, kind of agreeing with this kind of foolishness. Especially towards the end of this program, I didn't even know you had issues with our situation.
Hell, he's a nobody, bro. He's a nobody, bro.
Now you don't talk
he's latching
this.
on, bro.
Come
he's
on,
latching
Chaos.
on, bro.
No, but I know.
He's latching on, bro. He's a dick sucker, bro. He's a dick sucker, bro. You gotta think. You got these dick sucking faggots talking, sucking on this man's dick. They can't stand on their own though. They don't stand on their own though. Bring your punk ass on up on the channel, dude. What the fuck, man? I don't want you. Don't be in the comments. I'm blocking everybody in the comments, bro. Come on the show. Don't be in the comments. Come on. I don't want to hear I don't want no comments. We're not talking to the comments. Either come up or don't comment, bro. Or you getting blocked.
I'm outside, man. You know how we gotta be outside. Let me mute myself. Let me mute myself for a second.
Woo. I don't know why y'all think you can come on with all that noise, man. Jesus Christ, you wouldn't want me to do that shit. So where are you? There's a lot of noise.
What are they talking about now?
Pearl, out of many.
I finally figured out the real difference between a Masato knife and the ordinary stuff. We've all.
I got to pause. Put Jake on pause. But there's also this. Black people than white people. That does not.
Can I tell you a little secret, BDS? You should caught this much sooner, BDS. They want you there in the chat to listen. They now don't want you to bring up there. So to let you know the presence. No. That's why that's why they did that.
I understand, but I did it too.
So that's
me and AD did it.
Pause it. That's not you. That's not you, Chaos. That's what we're doing. Really? I'm just curious. That's what we're doing. Are you for real, dude?
I don't even want them coming to the channel.
No, but
coming up.
I'm just
get away from me, please.
That's nasty work. Nasty work. Never ran. Me. Never ran from any of this, bruh. Never. I mean, you even go back to like Taz and all of that, dude. This doesn't make any sense. Like just the fact that you said that's crazy. That's crazy, bruh. Straight up. I don't get that. I don't get it. Go ahead and play it. You can go ahead and play it, man. We're gonna get to the good parts. We're gonna play it. Go ahead
to do what? Prove a point, okay?
Yeah.
What are they gonna say if we don't show up? Chaos.
They say you're retreating or you're.
What's all the noise in the background with you, man? What's going on?
I'm on the road.
Oh, okay.
But I did before.
Okay.
Yeah. Isn't that pedestrian work right there?
I understand. No, these are civilians because they know a little bit more than that. Yeah. And we've been going back and forth with this. This is a constant thing. That's why this channel exists. But what did I say? If you come over to this Master Teacher Response channel, what you don't see, that's not my normal channel.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so I put it over here, and we have been going back and forth with these people for years. It's not like we don't know them. Okay, yeah, that's why that's the only reason which is why we showed up. Okay, and AB has a particular affinity for these people. Okay, I don't know why.
Okay. I'm more in the indifferent category.
I know.
Actually, I lean more toward the edge right now. I'm kind of indifferent. I could have made a video a couple of weeks ago, but I was like,
this is not about this. What we talk about is not about this case. Okay, we're not even going to discuss this case. Okay, because basically nobody knows shit about what the fuck went on during that day. Nobody. Okay, everybody's missing. Okay, and whatever evidence they got in Frisco with the police and all the witnesses, nobody ain't saying shit. Okay.
Yeah, they're using this case as a proxy, and both.
Or predicated actually listen to
Jason. Yeah, I think with like I said,
so you put Jason Whitlock's target points in front of Rand 10 like this deal because it keeps black
do not understand their sexual feminism. They do not.
That is
go to the whatchamacallit, go to the barbershop and see how well it goes across.
I think because when I bring it up when I go up there, I mean I have heard DC bring him. Whitlock is this,
what does he say about
it? Basically, when we had the conversation, it is that DC has this thing. He acts like he tries to make it sound like basically what you're saying. The FD signifier is harmless. Now he doesn't give the reason, but he gives me an idea that he kind of agrees way more with FD signifier. If he had to pick between Jason Whitlock existing or FD signifier existing, he would much more prefer FD signifier existing than Jason Whitlock. He sees Jason Whitlock as like an enemy of the state type of person.
He sees Jason Whitlock as just like what's his name, Larry Elder and a few others, right?
Yeah. So he sees that
they're in the coon category, okay?
Yeah,
and they're in the political realm. FD signifier to him is harmless because he doesn't matter in what they're talking about. That's what I'm saying.
But my thing is FD signifier represents the part of Black academia that dominates. They really legislate that.
So I'm glad you asked. I'm glad you asked. Between FD signifier and Jason Whitlock, first of all, both of them are as problematic as the other. I don't have an issue with them actually existing or having their commentary, to be honest with you. I don't think of Jason Whitlock as enemy of the state. I do think that he do have a problematic aesthetic that I will give Edward this. Yeah, I will lean more to saying that Jason Whitlock is more problematic with the aesthetic of how he's more anti-Black than the so-called FD signifier. But I don't have any kind of affiliation as far as FD signifier, as far as what he believes in and stuff like that. I don't think that it holds any other kind of weight outside of having an intellectual conversation. But it doesn't hold any weight in the true sense of things when it comes down to power. Me and Paradox don't even talk in those kind of terms. How many times have we ever talked about FD signifier on our channel, Paradox?
Who was that?
Exactly. So that's what I'm saying. Like it's
I don't know who he is or she.
I haven't spoken about him on our channel at all. I think he was brought up because he was coming through the Black Manosphere, and it was brought in on Art New Style channel, and we was commenting about what FD signifying in his content and stuff like that. And that was that's all it was. It was just him doing his content. He's just a extra progressive lefty. Those types that you say that are very, very weird, that deal with the intro. He includes the intersectional feminist aesthetic, and then he brands everything from that standpoint of me just being in a Black male body is dangerous to a Black woman. Do I agree? Hell, that's phony baloney. That's what I'm saying. Like stuff like this, it irritates me because, like I said, like you guys should listen to me long enough, or know me long enough to know that I don't stand on those things. That's just to be obvious.
Well, yeah, they're trying to force an identity on you for some reason.
But I appreciate you asking, though, Ed. I appreciate you asking, bro. Go ahead and play.
You're a cocksucker anyway, really.
Here, did you have Jason Whitlock on here? So
we talked about we actually Jason.
Who the fuck is these? Like seriously, dude.
Okay, I just told you why we are doing.
No, and I was about to give the butt part.
Okay, well, you'll give me the fuck part, man.
No, not the fuck part, but the butt part. But based on what you said, like just now, who the fuck is these? Like seriously, dude.
That cocksucker shit.
Hold on. DC is a nobody. Remember? I'm pedestrian. No. Civilian. We don't know what we're talking about. That you shouldn't spend 5 seconds even debating anything that we have to say. Like
I thought that dude was cool. I thought he was cool though. Why is he talking about who the fuck are you?
Ed is stuck on November the 5th or November the 6th. We're gonna get into it.
Is he a child? Is he like 15 or 16 or something?
No. You're fully grown.
He's an adult.
Ed is cool. Okay. Ed more like your little cousin. Like he. I don't have issues with Edward. I understand Edward in the sense of this is how he is.
That motherfucker said, "Who the fuck is DC?" Is crazy.
I know. I got.
That's a wild ass statement, bro.
I got it. I know. Hey, listen. I know. I'm gonna toss it up to the game because I think that some of the information that
man, don't spare that nigga. What are you spare. Don't spare.
I'm not trying to spare.
The dude just said the dude is sucking BJ, whatever the dude's name is. He's sucking his dick so hard. I mean, what's the point of even saying that though? Who the fuck is DC? What does that even mean? Based off of what?
You know what it means?
I really don't.
But now go ahead and play. We're gonna get to the good part. Go ahead and play it, man.
Me, I consider myself a civilian. You know, I got my opinions. I came on there and I literally told him what the fuck was gonna happen. I told him that shit was gonna be as close to a Reagan, and he can play the thing. I said what I really think is gonna happen with this election. I said this like right when she got the nomination. It was
This was not Reagan. This was not Reagan, bruh. This was not Reagan, bruh. This is not what happened, bruh. This is just flipping. This is just flipping the 7. He flipped the 7. He flipped the 7 that Biden won.
Is so ignorant and fucking stupid.
That's it. He's flipped the swing states. He won the flip. If she won the swing states, guess who would be president right now? Literally. I mean, it's just. I mean, come on, man. You don't have to do this. We don't have to keep going along with this kind of thing. That's why they call them the swing states. They decided the election. He swept the swing states. He won. Even if they split the swing states, it would have been a lot more kind of based down the middle. But that normally doesn't happen. When the swing states goes, it goes one way. It's just been consistent like that through history. So that's what happened. And it wasn't no blowout. It wasn't no, just all these major votes. Like I think only one of those states, I think maybe one or two of those states, he had more than 50% voting tally. Everything else was like 48, 47, 49, 48. Just like the general election, just like the popular vote. He did not win the popular vote by 50%. That's facts. This is not Reagan. This is not Obama. This is not Obama 2008 or 2012.
Not even close, bro.
I'm just saying, man, like if you guys want to be accurate, right? Be accurate.
No, they don't want to be accurate.
No, but I'm saying just don't gaslight it. If you're saying that we're exaggerating, we're not exaggerating. Like I said, I came to the front and say, yo, DC was wrong. I said that.
Right, then you just move on to the next thing.
What do you want? Nigga, I don't have to sit up here and hold nobody's hand with that. We went over the commentary. If you wanted to come to our channel and speak to us, you could do that. Right. You see what I'm saying? The reason why I don't come over. Let me just say this real quick.
But there's nothing to speak to. I'm a Republican, so I vote for Republicans. So what's there to speak to on our channel?
Yeah.
I hate Democrats.
Right. we fuss about it and argue about it every week. Every week we argue about that. That's what I'm saying.
So to come on the channel to do what? I've gloated against you more than they would ever.
Exactly. With way better arguments, by the way. Way better arguments.
And it's okay. It's okay. It happens.
And it's fine. It's fine. Look, man. This is what I'm saying. Like I thought that we could be an example to the space on how to discuss the left and the right positioning without all of the bloviating, without all of the bluster, with all of the bullshit, and be able to have a real conversation without the gaslighting and the personal shit. Right. I think we do a good job. I think we do a good job of doing that, where we keep it hard on the ideals and things of that nature. We stand on it. When we concede to a point, we don't hold on to it. Be like, you know what? We conceded about 4 or 5 points. Me on each side. You did it. Just because we're not going to hold on to something that's false. We got to admit it. We got to admit the bullshit.
You got to admit it and move on.
You got to. That's what I'm telling you. That's like his problem, though. Let me just say this, though. BGS, ignore. That is your problem. Your ego gets in the way of you pressing on and doing really, really enlightening content because you rather be right than accurate, bro. And that's something wrong with that. And you try to say, "Oh, I'm accurate, dude." That's something that me and Paradox says. That's what I'm saying. That's something that me and Paradox said, and we go that goes way back to what Gus and them said and Nearly Fuller. That's how I know that we said that all the time. That ain't something that you came up with. You know what I'm saying? I never heard you use, just be accurate. No, that's what we said. We say that because we was parroting Nearly Fuller, Dr. Weldon, because that is what they honed in. Be accurate, be as precise as possible. If you see a bad idea, you move on from it without the ego. I was wrong. You proved me right. Push forward. Period. It's just
and like I always tell you, as much as I can't stand the Democratic Party, I still love all the black people, of course, obviously in the party. I love our governor. I love my county council people. So it's all good. But when we at war, right? When it's time, it's coming up in we got about almost. We still got. It's been 100 days, bro. We got almost 2 years still. It's crazy. We got 2 years to go for us to turn up again, right? Like you said, once it's over.
If Trump won was a mandate or just a blowout, then basically Biden would be a landslide.
Exactly.
Biden won, it would be a landslide. It's beyond a mandate. That would be the closest thing to a Reagan. Because he flipped Georgia, you know what I'm saying? and he covered all of the 7. Like it, dude, come on, man. Like it. I don't have to sit up here and relitigate it. And I think he was plus 7 million over over Trump, 5 to 7 million popular on a popular vote. But no 2 point something. But what it is between him and Kamala, the candidate that was not that good, that shouldn't have ran this and that other. And like I said, this is not going to be something that can be proven. But I guarantee you, though, anybody else that would have took over at the point that Biden stepped down, that came to the forefront, that wasn't Kamala Harris, I would argue probably wouldn't have got close to that particular 75, 76 million that she got to vote for them, vote for the Democrats. Period.
Now I'm a fan of Trump. How much work do you think Trump is doing to attack feminism?
How much do I think he's
policies,
doing?
procedures, cultural? Yeah.
Probably absolutely zero. Not too much. I don't think he's doing too much to attack feminism. I don't think he's doing too much outside of but the LGBTQ. Not unless you put the LGBTQ, the trans rights and stuff like that. I do see that. But other than that, the LGBTQ, the transsexual, that particular thing. But what do you think? What do you think his percentages is? I could be wrong on that.
I don't know if he's right. I think he's wrote a record 124 executive orders. I'm not sure if any of those executive orders are attacking feminism.
outside of the sexual orientation, I know he's doing that. I know he's going hard body on that. No women in sports, and no men.
No, that's no men in sports.
Right, no men in sports, and women's sports and stuff like that. Yeah, and what's so crazy about it? You know what? I agree with that.
I want him to go after. I want him to go after feminism specifically.
Hold on, the bleeding liberal here. I agree with that. I'm pre-life. I don't believe in abortion, not wholeheartedly. Like extreme cases for abortion. Like I said, that's always been consistent. Anyway, but go ahead. You can press play, man. Let's get through this real quick.
The Democratic convention, I said, this is going to be as close to you. You are supposedly behind the scenes, and he should know. DC should be kind of like where Fauci is, where the other doctor you be having at Dr. Geopolitics is. So he's on that level. Clearly, either you're not, because the people lied to you. So I'm assuming it's really that you don't. It's not that you don't know what you're talking about. They lied.
He doesn't know what he's talking about.
I'm just gonna give him that credit, benefit of the doubt. For him to come up here and try to.
And you guys are the experts. That's what I'm saying. So paradox. How many times have we ever said that we was experts on anything on this channel? Ever? Whenever we ever said that, paradox. Are you there?
Still learning.
That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying about. That's what I'm saying.
What did Shaq say?
That is what I'm saying.
What did Shaq say to some of the NBA players? You're a jag. I'm just a jag, man. I'm trying to kill my ego, man. Just be a guy, man. It's not that heavy, man.
One of the main. That's what I'm saying. That's how I know we never push that. I don't know if that's what you guys. We never push. We're the experts on everything. We just talk about things that we do. Now, if we know it, I'm saying if we know something, we know something. Period. We sharing it. The stuff that I don't know.
We find out something, or we hear something, or we do check in on things.
Something that we don't know about, I'll say in our opinion or in my opinion, and then we go back and forth on that. That's in the integrity of it.
Remember, I'm not selling nothing. I don't have a Patreon. I'm not asking for $5 donation. I'm not selling nothing.
This is very important because this is very important because people will listen to him and they'll eat this shit. They'll eat it, and it's shit. It's a shit sandwich because there's no truth in it. It's no truth in it. You're listening to somebody that's basically putting a title on us that we never given to ourselves. We never said anything close to something. Master teacher. What kind of ego stroke is that? Well, I don't call myself the master teacher. But then I put on a channel, the master teacher responds. And this is not anything. I'm just saying like this is the bullshit. That's what I'm saying. Like, this is the nonsense. This is projection. Like I'm just saying, man, like it doesn't make sense. Going back to even when we dropped the link and then you decide to simulcast us and then go for like 2 hours on another stream. Why not? You've been there for like 3 hours. You say you've been there for 3 hours. Why not? If you're waiting at the DMV, that's just like when your number get called at the DMV, you come up, we say number 37. Oh no, you know what? They had me waiting for like 3 hours. You know what? I'm out. Motherfucker, you've been waiting for 3 hours. Now you gonna leave when they call your number? I don't get that. BGS, you're a man of logic, right? That is not logical, sir. That is not logical. That is not logical, man. I do not care about. I do not want to be no master teacher. I'm not no master of nobody, dude. I'm not no master of nobody. I am a person that is still learning. I do not care about no titles about having this much knowledge about anything and this and that other. I would tell you about things that I know. And if I know something for sure and you're saying something contrary to that, I have a hard time letting the conversation get past that because I say, what you're saying, I know that not to be true. I know that not to be true. It's almost like trying to tell somebody that been off the planet in a spaceship that the earth is flat and they've been off the planet. You see what I'm saying? It's going to be, the conversation is going to be a different outlook. They're telling you about what they know.
That's a good analogy for them. They're flat earthers.
They're telling you. Yeah. I'm not. See,
that's what I should have named the show. Flat earthers. That's a perfect example.
I've been off the planet, and you're telling me what I know. That's what I'm saying. Like this. That's what that is. So this is not no expert stuff. That's something that's been projected onto us by somebody else, and you guys basically gobble that up, hook, line, and single, like a Pac-Man pebble or some shit, like he killing ghosts.
Bro,
nobody's mad at him. This didn't have to be done. The reason why I did this is because let me just say this. The reason why I did this is because it needs to be clear. It needs to be clear on who we are, the differences between me and them. You know what I'm saying? Us and them, there's a difference. There is a difference. The way we do content, the way they do content, there is a difference. Period. Don't care about none of those titles, bro. We never been into that. We're not looking for subscribers. We're not begging for that. That's not something that we're doing. If you subscribe, cool. If you don't want to subscribe, cool. If you want to unsubscribe because we're doing this particular program, then that's even better. Because guess what? You've never been here for the quality of the program in the first place. So me and Paradox don't need you here. We don't need your listen. Period.
Like
man.
I said, as a humble man of God and a follower of Jesus Christ, I appreciate them thinking that we might be experts. Appreciate it, but we're trying to be humble here. Egoless, right? There's no masters here. There's no students here. We just having conversation and just chopping it up. Really, it's just that simple for me, at least.
All right, so go ahead and keep playing.
I call you out rather than being honest. Because look, I do believe you would have went there. I would have went there. Here, Kamala won. Because you've done it before. I've done it before. But when it's in the reverse, y'all can't do that, and y'all are not old enough to have that kind of ego. I mean him. And so it's crazy, man. Like Paradox had to come up there and start talking because DC was MIA. And so for him to then turn around, y'all need to call out. Like, dude, stop listening to them stupid motherfuckers because they putting you out here to look dumb. They basically putting you out here to take all these hits as the alpha so they can be behind you doing stupid shit. Cause like real talk, that's a fuck these niggas offense. Got me out here looking stupid like that. Cause you were wrong. Like all these hits. And so for him to then turn around, y'all need to call out. Like, dude, our kind of ego. I mean him. And so it's crazy, man. Like Paradox had to come up there and start talking because DC was MIA. And so for him to then turn around, y'all need to call out. Like, dude, stop listening to them stupid motherfuckers because they putting you out here to look dumb.
Ed, I had no idea. I don't have no idea who you're talking about.
Stupid motherfucker though. Did he say my name or
no. I think he think that we're listening to people that is telling us wrong information, this and that other, and that they're wrong and this and that other. That's not.
About what, though?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, Ed, I don't know what you're talking about when it comes down to that. If you're talking about, that's what I'm saying. This is going back to the election. This is iterating the election. And that's what I'm saying. Like, we talked about how everything was being manipulated in the media. We spoke about these things already. Like, I don't understand the whatever we did or whatever programs that we did right after the election, it appears that it didn't suffice for them, which is okay. We don't do the program for you guys. Even us being off the grid for a while, that had nothing to do, literally, that had absolutely nothing to do with that had nothing to do with the election. That had nothing to do, life just got busy for both me and Paradox, period, especially around that time.
You mean holiday season? Around what time? What are you talking about?
No, but not just that. You're talking about like right after, like December, January, the transition of the government and everything, seeing how things played out. That is, dude, we had a whole transitional period that we was dealing with. This internet
election,
stuff.
Well, not only that, regardless of us having other things to do, the election was over with. We got I feel like we got a good amount. We did a lot of content.
We did
during that time frame, and then we random as hell anyway. We may go a year without doing the show. Really,
exactly. This is not the first time. And like I said, man, we'll energize. We energize. We'll get back together. Be like, hey, man, let's go ahead. Let's get back to it. Let's get back on the grind.
But like
and now
you said, the election was so good because you put Kamala in without having a primary. You throw her in there. Joe Biden quits. I mean, we was forced to do a show. We was forced to do shows, basically. It was
right then and there.
Got to do shows,
right then and there. We went in. Right there. Yeah, exactly right.
It was too good because, like you said, you only get one lifetime.
Yeah.
And so to be living in a moment where in America in our history to have that dynamic happen, we had to chop it up.
We had to go and do what we did. And like I said, man, I don't. This what really grinds me as a person per se.
But
you
even
can,
if you want to frame it,
I read them talk about me personally. But when you talk about our channel, you talk about then that's including you into it.
Don't include me in it.
So when it comes down to it,
team won. I'm good.
Exactly. That's what I'm saying. So like, if you listen to the program,
I want all the terrors, bring the jobs back. I want all the rhetoric. Bring the jobs back, the whole thing.
You did about 4 or 5 programs doing the victory lap around it. I remember I asked her, I said, yo, you want me to come up? You like, nah, man, let me just go ahead and have my say at it. And that was it. See, you guys, you don't know what you're talking about. Ed, like, oh, he MIA and all this stuff. Dude,
DC, how long have I been? I've been a Republican since what? I don't know, 1990 something. I mean,
dude, since I know
you,
bro.
it's just ridiculous.
I don't understand it since I know you.
You don't understand it. A lot of people don't understand it. I've been teased about it my whole life, and it's all good.
Right.
You get two choices.
Like I said,
you get two choices, or you don't have to participate, or you can be an activist, or you can be whatever you want to be. Though. Everybody gets a slot.
Here's the thing. I know that if it comes down, push to shove, man, we understand what this is really all about at the end of the day, and we go back and forth, you know what I'm saying, between each other, this, not other, and it's just an idealistic kind of deal.
But I will say this, hold on, DC, I will say this. I do want to always thank all the black men and the few black women that decided to jump ship, and the ones that decided to stay home. I don't want to talk about that no more. I'm trying to let that go, but since we bring it up, I mean, I might as well talk about the victory lap, right? We're
going to get to it. We're going to get to it again. Though,
look, I was in. Look, my whole lifetime. Let me just say that I didn't want to say this anyway. My whole lifetime, I have waited for some black people to see the light and to come to the right. And I always appreciate it. Now, I don't have to demonize people. I don't have to hate individual people or any of that stuff. It's just the ideology of the left. And I know that the Western world is left, obviously. Everything does go progressive. We're just trying to hold the reins and slow it down as much as possible. Is all we really can do in this system until there's a global war or something. They can correct things on a serious level. But outside of that, culturally, within a system that's relatively stable, on some level, you know, you are trying to basically hold. You're trying to hold on to something that me and you both know is fleeting, right? At one time, it was all quote unquote, you know, English was in charge, right? And then it went from English to a bunch of immigrants who rose up, who are identified as white, who are all men, who was in charge. And then as things have progressed, right, you have other people who take those positions, right?
Have you had anybody? Do you have anybody in the back at all that wanted to come up? I want to make sure.
Why would they come up?
I'm just saying.
They're eating Christmas ham, Thanksgiving, Easter ham.
Go ahead and play it, man. Go ahead and play it. So we're getting through it. Let's get through it.
Basically putting you out here to take all these hits as the alpha so they can be behind you doing stupid shit. Cause like real talk, that's a fuck these niggas offense. Got me out here looking stupid like that. Cause you were wrong. Like you weren't kind of wrong. You were
completely wrong.
This is a shutout. This was a shutout. This was a sweep. This is what this was.
I don't know what's coming at me. I called everything right down the line.
That's nonsense. That's nonsense. But again, listen. That is a way of looking at it, but the accuracy of your statement doesn't hold up with the numbers that were. It does not. Like I said, if this was a blowout, then what Biden did to Trump during the first run in 2020 was a landslide, and nobody talked about it as that, including you guys, including you. You know,
DC, hold on, DC. Let's use this. Let's do the sports analogy though. Now we watch the NFL. We watch the NFL. Who won a Super Bowl in the NFL? Whenever it was February. Whoever won that game, right? Who won the Super Bowl? The Eagles, right? Philly. Right?
Yeah.
Right. Game. Is anybody in NFL concerned about that? When we talk, you talk about sports and things like that. They won. Yeah. And then we're on to the new season.
And plenty of people.
We're not gonna keep litigating the game. The game is the game.
A lot of people picked KC to win. A lot of people did.
Right. A lot of people did.
Shit. A lot of people lost money that day. A lot of folks, bruh. But I mean, it was a 50-50 proposition to begin with. We as we got closer to the election, I started to become like, okay, yeah, there's a chance that this could not go the way we thought it was going to go, because we when we see things and we see things turn, we admit that. If you listen to us and you listen to before the election even took place, we conceded. If white women vote this is all about white women. If white women vote this particular way, then it's no way that she's going to be able to win it. There's no way she's going to be able to carry those states. And we talked about the problem areas: Wisconsin, Arizona. What's the other one? North Carolina, Georgia. This and that other. Even North Carolina looked good at that particular time. But see, I'm saying I don't want to relitigate an election that we already talked about ad nauseum. Yeah, it's not personal.
The game's over.
Yeah. And like I said, admitting that I was wrong. Hold on, admitting I was wrong. That's already done. That's been done. You did a victory lap for like 2 or 3 shows. You had your fun, this and that other, and then I came up and I took my licks from you, by the way, and that's what it was. And anybody that wanted to come up and talk about you can do that. That's what I'm saying. Like this stuff about, oh man, you're gonna wait, man. We was on for another hour and a half, almost 2 hours when we dropped the link the other day. So that's just, I'm saying that's just cap. We not we finishing up and then we're gonna close it down. No, we dropped the link. They decided to do a simulcast at the same time once we dropped the link. You tell us what that is. Like I said, once your number is called, what are you ducking for? You waited that long? So what, you're gonna wait that long and then you're gonna jump? Anyway, man. You tell me what that is, bro. Tag me in, coach. If I'm waiting that long, best believe once they tell me that I'm going, it's a go. Guess what I'm doing? It's a go, bro. I'm up on it. Anyway. Who came up?
Chat.
Oh, who came up?
Man, on the thing, yeah.
Oh, Mike, what's up, man? Mike, what you got? What you got, man?
Hey, peace, bro. Peace, Paradox. Yeah, I'm just up here to make sure that the link works. I think the link works just fine. So
okay. But go ahead and play it, man. Let's continue on, man.
The people on the other side after the election came out, they were on her team.
Democrat insiders came out and said the same thing we said.
She said, I don't know what the argument is about.
Yeah, clarity matters. And it becomes this ego thing. And that's how, when AB starts talking that vote blue no matter who, not to mention what I say about the benign neglect. It's like, yo, you mean to tell me after being wrong like that, you still gonna come back here and do the same dumb shit? Talk about you need to come on. And then that's one thing to be bold enough to do that. And then, dude, BGS, you one of the oldest people up here other than Black Guru. Time, obviously, I hope you live to 100 years old, 110. I literally.
Yo, it's too much glazing for me, bro. Stand on your own. Calling some nigga an alpha and shit. Stop glazing, though. God damn. I watch too many young streams, by the way. Is that what glazing looks like? That's what it's called, right?
Oh,
you know what the old heads do? Is that how you say it?
Good old Ed, man.
Glazing ass nigga right there, boy. That nigga is super glazer.
Really got a step grandmother that her mom.
Is that we're talking about pedestrian? They got their panties all in a bunch.
I'm gonna tell you right now. I think Mike D is gassing. DC stop moving to Mike D.
Codebreakers for what 2 or 3
minutes. Pause real quick.
Rewind it. My troll channel for these kind of folks, right? So we're talking about him. We might have mentioned DC in the Codebreakers for what 2 or 3 minutes. Okay. They got the panties all in a bunch.
See, this is what I'm saying about the disingenuous. It doesn't take a while for people to figure out who you basically talking about when you go into your programming, BGS. That's what I'm saying. Like,
don't mention us for 5 seconds though. Fuck 3 minutes.
But I'm saying, like, that's just calling by name. But I'm saying you making innuendos. These guys don't know what they're talking about. This and that other. Yeah, is Mike V and these dudes. Is Man of Tomorrow and these dudes. It's like all of these guys. You kind of put us all into this big bunch. Our situation with BGS is totally different. That's what I'm saying. Like, this gaslighting thing, like, to be honest, bro, like I said, man, I do not want to do this. Period. Only reason why I'm doing this is to get the record clear about what our particular program is about and what we stand for. You try to compromise us on that particular issue. That's the reason I have an issue with this. But go ahead, Mike. Since he thinks that what you're saying to me is gaslighting me and this and that, or you got kind of control, you got the puppet strings on me, and you can tell me what to do every time something happens. That's crazy.
For sure. Yeah, and the thing here is what he's accusing me of is gassing you up to go live when it's Paradox that's actually the one going live, right? And so I don't know if Paradox is going live. I get an alert and then I share it on the community tab. If you look at my community tab on the Black Brain Trust, you see that I've always shared Codebreakers live streams, always. And so I think that there's a conflation, like you said, of all these different actors when your situation is different with him than ours. Even though there's similarities, it happened at different occasions. And so there's a different, situation that's going on that's being conflated that doesn't have anything to do with each other, realistically speaking. And so the pedestrian and civilian labels are being misappropriated here because if I remember correctly, you and Paradox are closer to the situation on the ground in HQ than they are.
Well, let them tell it. No, let them tell it. We're not. Then that's fine. You can believe that. That's fine. Let me just say this really, really quick. We have basically had an open invite to meet anybody that's in the area. That's Sauchi. That I think that was James or whoever that is. Basically, that said that they was here. You know what I'm saying? We even meet at the Chicken-fil-A that I work at, right across from the Pentagon. We was talking about the Chicken-fil-A.
Oh, Jules.
Jules.
Yeah.
I mean, it's all good, man. Like I said, Charles, me and Charles have met. We have talked this and that other. So it's not anything wrong. Charles is my brother. We disagree about certain things, but it doesn't get in the way of the brotherhood. And that's what I'm saying. That's what I thought we were showing through our program, by the way. That's why the integrity thing is very paramount for me, because I'm not going to misappropriate anything. It ain't your talking points, BGS. It's this stuff. This stuff is false. It's not true.
Right.
It's a lie. You're not standing on it. That's what I'm saying. Like, I don't like that part.
And to add on to what you're saying that he predicted this 2 years ago when he wasn't even covering politics 2 years ago. Because if I remember correctly, the standpoint he had was, I don't follow domestic politics. I follow geopolitics. Now, so how do you go from not following it 2 years ago to suddenly today that you predicted that this was going to be a quote unquote blowout when the margin shows you that it was 1.5% that she lost by? This has never been done in American history. What she did has never been done before. And so the original argument, DC, and for those of you who don't know what we're really talking about, the original argument was that RFK was a better candidate than Kamala Harris. Okay, he ran with this since July of 2024. We look at the numbers. He barely broke 5% in all of those key swing states that he was on the ballot on. And in fact, he took more votes from Trump than he actually impacted Kamala. Kamala overwhelmingly blew this guy out by millions and millions of votes. So the idea that you predicted something, I'm not seeing the evidence of it. There's no evidence that you predicted anything. But go ahead, Paradox. Continue playing, please.
I'm gonna tell you right now, I think Mike V is gassing. Stop listening to Mike V. Mike V is having you fight his battles, because if he fights alone, it's please like that. You need to stop listening to Mike V. That's what. And Mike V don't know what he's talking about. Mike V is basically. I hate to say it this way, but I gotta say it this way. Mike V is basically an uppity nigga. That's like an uppity nigga that don't know he an uppity nigga. And I'm not saying I got an issue with necessary BVS. I'm sure you got a certain. You said it. You're even playing stuff. But the difference is you know how to turn that on and off. Mike V is an uppity nigga.
I'm an uppity nigga. Based off of the fact that we were given data analysis on the election itself and breaking down all the legislation that was coming out of the pipeline the last 4 years under Biden, and even before that, when Trump was in office, we were covering his administration as well. Where's the uppityness in all of that? They just don't like the fact that we covered the politics at a granularization that they weren't able to keep up with.
Just besides the disagreement, I can't believe that he actually used that. I can't believe he actually called you uppity. That is it. Come on, that's weird. That is very Paradox. I don't know what that's shocking, by the way. I don't know why it felt like the first time I actually heard it. I know that I heard it before when I listened to this program, but just to hear it again like that, he's an uppity Negro. Like it's sad. Edward, man, come on, man. Like that's crazy work.
But what's behind that type of language, though, DC? Can you go deeper than that?
I ain't gonna lie to you, man. I
know.
I know you guys.
When someone makes a statement like that in their brain, what is that telling you behind it? I'm trying to ask you. So it is an unusual statement, but it does say something about a person, right? When they make that kind of statement.
It's class dynamics, Paradox. There is this. Go ahead, TC. Go ahead.
I just wish that Ed just stayed out of this, man. I never had no beef with Ed. I never really had anything with Ed. It's not other. And I know how you feel about it, Paradox, man. But I know the angst that he feels towards me sometimes or whatever, and how he views it. It's not. I don't think it's all coming from a real bad place. I just think that he's just being pushed into a certain direction. In my opinion, this is my opinion, Ed. I don't know this for sure, but I think that he's just. I just want to be attached to this kind of thing with BGS and just believing everything that he says, or just kind of tagging along. He pushes back, but then he throws into that, and it's just, I listen. He said what he said, man. I don't know why he would do this, crash and call people because of the election. Like I said, this happened in November the 6th. I mean, the election been done with. We've been on to. We talking about different things now. We're talking about the Trump administration, which they don't talk about, by the way.
Absolutely,
they don't talk about the administration in any kind of detail.
none of the executive orders that have gone out, not one of them have they covered. Even before when Trump during the primaries when Nikki Haley was running, they didn't cover that. I'm probably the only person in the space who had covered Trump's potential VP picks 6 months before Trump even came out and made the VP pick. The whole short list I had outlined came out to be the short list that Trump came out with, or the administration that came out with. So this idea that, vote blue no matter who, that we were endorsing Kamala Harris, we never endorsed any candidate. All we did, we covered the facts. That was it. Go right ahead, Paradox, please.
Well, I endorse black women and black men all day. Get as much access to power as possible.
Oh man.
They don't think he up. Nigga, I grew up with white people just like you did. I appreciated them, boss. You didn't get hit with a rock like them other. You didn't experience these racist Boston or whatever part of good Massachusetts. I see a lot of SWP and Mike V. But I respect SWP a lot more. I see a lot of SWP, but really don't know what he's talking about. Somebody from the burbs.
You gotta defend yourself, son. Well, I'm gonna do it
First of all, I didn't grow up in the burbs. I grew up around black people my whole entire life. I went to black schools. I went to black churches. I have never been around white people at all in any given time in my history of living up here. So the idea that I grew up in the suburbs. Boston is not a suburb, my man. It's not a suburb. It is about as urban as DC is, the District of Columbia is. So the idea that we, or at least I, grew up around all of these palm-colored folks, and I kind of got caught up in that. Not hardly the case. You can look at the statistics in Boston, and it proves that. There's no such thing as me, being uppity on any given occasion. I think the problem here is we're not co-signing, or at least I'm not co-signing misinformation, which is exactly what this is all about. You're taking bits and pieces of information and you're conflating all these other sort of data trends and whatnot that's in it, and then you're presenting it as facts. That's misinformation to a T. None of what he's saying is true. even what he's saying about me is misinformation. And so,
right, but is he? But is he? I'm just trying to understand. It's a weird. It's a weird attack vector. Is he? Am I understanding this correctly? Is he trying to make you not be black, or that somehow you have less blackness because you was, even if you was around white? I mean, I don't even. I'm just trying to process that part.
He's putting me in the same category as
what is he trying to? Right. I mean, I'm not saying it's a negative. It's just interesting that as a black person, if you happen to go around white people or Asian people, or if you grew up in Japan, it doesn't make, you see what I'm trying to say? I'm trying to understand, what does that mean? By him
it's to
saying
discredit,
that,
it's to discredit
what is he trying
me.
to project? Okay.
It's to discredit me as if I don't know what I'm talking about. He has more respect for Sergeant Willie Pete than he has for me, but Sergeant Willie Pete has been more wrong than he's been right. But you co-sign that sort of stuff because that's what you're attracted to. You're attracted to the misinformation and the propaganda and stuff. I'm not with all of that. I put the facts on the table and put the history on the table, and then we work from there. If you ever go to the Black Brain Trust, from our inception, I have always stated the docket is in the description beneath the video for you to follow along with and reference. I always cite the sources. We always go over the material together. I always read out loud all of the material so that we're all on the same page. That's it. That's it. The fact that I can read is probably what's bothering him so much.
You know what's so funny in the black world? That is kind of a what do you call it? Like an easy go-to? What do they call it? You know, when someone tries to attack you in that type of way. It's strange. I always say it's strange. You're less black because not you per se, but it's people in general. If they're not, it's like it's some kind of hidden thing, you know. If you're not from a certain area, then you don't have, your opinion doesn't have the same level of value. Your knowledge, your studying, it has no value to it. That's just weird, man. Like just a strange approach to things.
Well, to your point, Paradox, you guys are closer to the situation on the ground than any of the other folks in this space, including me. And yet they don't even want to they call you all civilians.
That's fine. Like I said, I have no right at this moment. I have no issue.
Those weird titles. I don't even know what it means, bro. I don't even know what that stuff means. It's weird language anyway, bro.
It's fine. But see, this one I'm saying, because they haven't came out with anything outside of me per se, me personally, because it got nothing to do with Paradox, with me being wrong about the election, about Kamala possibly winning and this and that other. And you know, I'm going through our channels because I'm making sure that I wanted to make sure that we was accurate on this, right? This is what I'm saying, right? So right after the election, and this is something that we shouldn't have to do, but this is right after the election. It's over. Our next president. Congrats, Trump. Congrats, MAGA. Thank you, white women. We talked about that. MAGA, King Trump, and the Red Tsunami. And then we got into the Dem Strike Back. That is a 3 run of me basically eating crow during those time periods at that particular time.
You did a good job. You took it much better than a lot of other Democrats in America.
And what's so crazy about it, being intellectually honest about it, we talked about the same things that we talked about even prior to the election. The only thing changed is that basically the math didn't work out because of what we talked about. And we talked about even before then, right before the election, we talked about white women in the 2024 election. That is right before the election. Me and Paradox went over the whole white demographic from 2020, 2016, showing the correlation of basically white women lying about voting democratically. That was basically it. Basically it, bro. And that is why I just don't understand this type of deal where, oh, well, you know, you guys are not talking about everything. Dude, we're going into the numbers just like the Black Brain Trust do. We do it a little bit differently, but we have our own way. We went through the numbers. We went through the charts. We go through the maps. We pick the map, actually. That is something that we do. So I don't understand. We talk about the states ad nauseum. We talk about Wisconsin and the different dynamics what happened in Wisconsin,
Georgia and
Arizona, Georgia, North Carolina. We talked about it during the actual election. Like,
we talk about Texas going purple at some point, and Florida may end up swinging back Ron DeSantis out of there. That's just a part of political conversation. We're not trying. I'm not trying. I know we're not trying to win anything here.
No, man.
You know what I'm saying?
It's an interest that we have that we talk about, and we are close to the situation where we may have a little bit more information, but that's just because we're around it. But at the end of the day, if you have something else that you're talking about that you want to put forth, then you can put forth. But putting forth conspiracy theories are not facts. I'm gonna say this again. Putting forth conspiracy theories are not facts. Piggybacking off white conspiratorial people that stream.
They're parroting it, bro.
No, but hold on.
They're parroting that shit.
People that are talking about things that happen in the future, then try to remix it and make it seem like these are your talking points when you basically are piggybacking off whoever somebody else intellectual property is. That's nasty work.
And please do not mention Chris Hodges to me or no fucking whatever that other
Chris Hedges
retarded person is. Chris Hedges and what's the other
unbelievable, man.
Goofy
Richard
professor
Wolf?
out of Harvard.
Oh, yeah. Richard Wolf.
Just don't talk. Just stay. Just leave
Richard
them.
Wilson.
Just don't talk to them about it.
What? What are you talking?
Please.
What are you saying?
Matter of fact, I'm never doing a program on them goofy motherfuckers.
And I'm with you.
I read all of their books. I watched all of their lectures. That shit is nonsense. But I don't even want to get into it. I hate them people. I don't even want to talk about them.
I'm with you 100%, Paradox. We never leverage other podcasters' material for our own material. We always do our own deep dive analysis on the facts itself. Legislation is facts. Public policy is facts. Data is facts. You can't run away from that. And so we don't actually have to leverage a Richard Wolf who's at UMass Amherst. He's from UMass Amherst, emeritus over there, not Harvard. But we don't have to leverage.
Did he graduate from Harvard though? I thought he went to Harvard and Princeton.
He probably did.
Yeah, he went to school. He went to school with all the other, people who actually make a play in real life, who actually move the economy.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, Jenny Yellen. He went to school with Jenny Yellen. He was in the same class with her.
Yeah.
Columbia, I think. I think he was at Columbia.
One of those schools.
But yeah, to your point, yeah, he is from the Ivy League. But to your point, Paradox, we don't leverage those podcasters either. I think the idea.
Stay right there for a second. I just let me say this though.
Mm-hmm.
People have to understand, and just particularly in the white world, in Western white America, there is a tremendous amount of drifters, people who are failed people. Mm-hmm. A lot of them live in the academic space. They crank out a tremendous amount of books. People latch onto that stuff and they make money off of it. But it's a grift. Just because they're white don't mean nothing. They're not special. Just because they're intellectual don't mean that they're right. I'm just saying, like, I just noticed a pattern, not in the black world. I mean, black, white, everybody does it to these people. A lot of these people who really, if you really dig into it, you realize that a lot of them actually are failures and they are hide in academia. And you can hear people who critique them, who give breakdowns about people who actually have play, who's moving things in the real world, who are actually plugged in, who are actually making things happen, versus people who are critiquing those people and trying to fall back on their, on their knowledge of maybe even knowing them. But they'll write 100 books and make millions of dollars off of it, but they're not really a part of anything. They're not even getting pulled in to be advisors on a very base level.
They're required to write books. Paradox is a part of their agreement as emeritus professors and things like that. But
people can get lost. People tend to get lost. I've been watching for 30 years, bro. I mean, it's insane on so many levels, man.
Right. Continue, Paradox, please.
Oh no, go ahead. Cause I'm trying not to do a whole thing. So go ahead.
No. I was just. No, you're kind of echoing my points. I just think that the referencing podcasters without verifying the information that the podcaster put out, that's why I call people low information voters, or at least I call them low information voters, because you have a very poor understanding of how the system works, and you're leveraging memes and sound bites to formulate your worldview on how on global affairs and domestic affairs. So when you go to the ballot, you really think that, Kamala Harris got mollywopped. But in reality, that's not what the data says, right? And so that's the low information voter, not really understanding all the mechanisms of how the system works, how legislation gets passed, how public policy is created and crafted, who your elected officials are, what exactly is a majority whip, what's a minority whip, who's a leader, who's the Speaker of the House, not understanding all of these nuances that make the system work is exactly what you're hearing from these people on the panel.
Go ahead and continue, Paradox. We almost done.
To think you think you know more than what you do, and it's like at the end of the day, even if you're wrong, your ego makes you right. Like,
yeah. And
I'm not even trying to be disrespectful, but I'm just being real. All right, yeah.
And I was roasting them so bad a couple of weeks ago. BTS was like, calm down. Like, hey, delete that shit.
But the difference between me and you is you know, and I can be sarcastic too, but when it comes to you, that's your style. My thing is, I'm serious about them because I see what they do is really dangerous. Because it's like y'all are really at this point arguing with facts. It's not about BGS. You don't like the truth, and it just manifests in what BGS is talking about in the receipts he shows. And rather than counting the actual receipts that's shown, what y'all do is y'all want to make it about the manosphere, talk about what are we doing and what are that. Well, at least we're telling the truth and providing clarity. That's more than what the fuck y'all are doing.
Why don't they do what?
Yeah, I don't. That's what I'm saying. Like, that is not true. Like, what are you talking about outside of Trump winning the election? What truth are you referring to, Ed?
He called you in the brain. He called y'all weak, man. He talking crazy. That little boy talking crazy to y'all, bro.
I know. Listen. It's hard for me.
He need to take that Morpheus picture off his thing. That's crazy.
It's hard for me. I don't know.
Y'all are dangerous. Y'all basically dangerous. Misinformation. Y'all might as well be Alex Jones at this point.
It's hard for me to have that kind of energy towards him for some reason. In AB, I don't talk about AB as much.
That's because they're your sons. You don't have it.
They're not my sons. They're not my sons. They're not my sons. But the AB thing and this and that other. That's why this is all pointed at BGS because he likes this kind of stuff. He likes to have his so-called people.
The master manipulator.
Yeah, attack him. Attack like Mumra or something, like, you know.
So he's tuning them up, is what you're saying. I got you.
Well, I'm saying
so they're just dumbass. They're just dumbass robots. It's been programmed by him, and then he just turns them on.
Because when I told them this, it was me attacking them, and I was wrong. I was wrong for that, and I admitted that. That's how I view it, because it wasn't them, it was him. And that's why I stay directed in him, because at the end of the day,
they're more proxies in a sense.
Yeah, at the end of the day, this is about he's never been able to even code break us. So that kind of thing, and it's on record. Anybody that knows any of the
no, we're not doing that. We're not doing that. The DC that I know, he says anyone can get the smoke. Now you trying to spare Ed and this other faggot AB. You trying to spare them now all of a sudden?
I just can't pick on people like that, man. It's hard for me because I know that they are not.
These Negroes over here glazing this old fucker, and then you don't want to give them that heat. Give them the smoke. That's what you do, right?
The smoke. But my angst, and it's not even that much of an angst. It's because this stuff, and he sits in the background and he'd be like, "Oh, well, I don't even bring you up and all this," but this is what he creates this kind of thing.
Just spent 2 hours talking about it. Bring us up.
I know, man. I know.
And they're gonna build a second channel and act like, oh well, I got this other bullshit channel to do the bullshit. What the fuck are you talking about? What the fuck are you drinking your Kool-Aid too much? Drinking your own piss way too much.
Try. You see that's why I said I told them for very long. I said, you don't want this, man. You do not want this. Like, you shouldn't let nobody that's under 1,000 subs embarrass you like that. See, because like that's what I'm saying. Like, we never tried to do that. You have done it yourself, but not.
You keep saying he's a grown man, though. Their numbers, their birth dates might be grown, but to the way they're behaving, though, to me is more like they're his children or something.
The reason why this is easy, is because they don't remain intellectually honest. We have already conceded the election. I just read off the titles.
Yeah,
people can look through our program.
Hold on. But let your main dude speak for himself, though. Let him do. Why do they need to glaze him won't he just do his own thing and just do what he got to do?
He can say, "Well, I didn't say anything to them. I ain't saying nothing about that. That ain't what I said."
Okay.
You see what I'm saying? So he can create the environment, put it out there, and point in a direction, and then everybody else is going to eat and do what they do and be like, "Well, I don't bring him up. AB do." That's nasty work.
Right. That's
nasty work because you know that I've already embarrassed this man online. I don't get nothing out of doing that. I'd rather embarrass you because you're the one that's talking all this intellectual stuff and you, the master teacher and all that kind of stuff. You're the one doing that. And the only reason why I'm at it like that is because I know that you're going to defer, you're going to divert, you're going to try to formulate this kind of idea of being right when you're dead wrong. You're dead wrong. You keep talking about Kamala didn't have a chance to win. Wrong. False.
Right.
Negative. Not true.
And
anybody that believes that,
you know what's so funny?
Anybody that believes that, you're believing the bullshit, and he feeds it to you, and you be like, "Yeah, well, Master Teacher, that's what he said."
So you're saying they're too stupid to know what's happening, basically, then, right? That's why you don't have time for them.
No. I'm not. Yeah, go ahead, Mike. Go ahead.
No, Paradox. It's the low information aspect. See, if you keep feeding people misinformation, then they're always going to believe that that's true. They don't know the difference between. Because what they're looking at, Paradox, is the map that is red from November. They think that that's a blowout, right? And so by their reasoning, BGS was right. But in reality, he was never right because his idea was that RFK was a better candidate than Kamala Harris. The numbers don't even prove that. His own family doesn't even endorse. It didn't even endorse him, right?
That's a stupid position, yeah.
And then he doubled down and said that Jill Stein was a better candidate. If you look at the map, like this is what I'm saying. He said all of these things, but he's pretending like he never said it. And if he did say it, it's because we misinterpreted. But the tape is there. Run the tape back. July 2024, August 2024, September 2024, October. His analysis.
Right. So then why don't they stay in their lane? Keep shitting on black women and leave the politics to us. How about that? How about we do that?
Exactly.
That's been my position.
Exactly. You don't talk about domestic politics anyway. We didn't say that. You did. You said that. You don't like domestic politics. You don't know. It's just, I don't like, because people get too much in their emotions. No. That's, like I said, it goes deeper than that because before then it was Manafort 1.0 versus 2.0. Had to check them on that. Then had to check them on the China thing. Check them on that. Then had to check them on the so-called. I mean, it's just over and over and
HBCUs are gynocracies.
Remember the HBCU and the Dion situation about a year ago? Paradox, and he tried to formulate it and make it seem like we're talking down on Dion. Are you for real, man? That's just what I'm saying. Like, do people really believe you and believe this? So it's the same thing. It's over and over. It's this remix stuff. I mean, you might as well be Teddy Riley. You a New Jack Swing. You a New Jack Swing propagandist. I'm a remixer. You like Puff Daddy in there. Pause. But I'm just saying, come on, man. Like I can't go after Ed with the same kind of veracity or AB the same that I go at their so-called master teacher because look what he's doing. Look how he's allowing them to do this.
Nah, he's a master manipulator, bro.
And for me to attack them is the wrong thing to do. It's him.
I'll do it.
And
I'll be their Huckleberry. I'll attack them. How about that?
And that's why I tried to avoid this because I'm like, dude, you chose the wrong battle. You chose the wrong battle, BGS. This ain't gonna be good for you.
Well, he needs to make sure his boy AB is really prepared because I know you heard some of his bullshit content. You don't know where he's up, down, left, right, all over the place. Maybe he's mentally ill for all I know. But he don't have no coherent opinions about anything.
They don't believe
I'm not totally sure exactly what he did to talk about us on our channel about whatever we're talking about. I'm like, bro, you don't even have your own opinions. BGS is inserting opinions into your brain. I mean,
oh man, I tried to avoid this. I tried so hard. Mike, you know I tried. I tried to avoid this, bro.
Yeah.
This is what I'm saying. Like, this is what I'm saying. Like, I tried. You forced my hand, bro. You forced my hand.
And then you pulled me into it. I hate these motherfuckers. You gonna pull me into this shit.
I did. I ain't gonna lie to you. I did. I ain't gonna lie. Yeah, I did. That's my bad. Yeah, I know you don't. You're not for the shenanigans. My bad. This is it. Because like I said, I want this. We can always reference this because this lays it all out here for everybody. You know where we stand. You know where they stand. You can make the decision. You could decide on what you want to do. I don't care. But what we're talking about is what we know about, and what we are basically defending is what our points are. That's stuff about what Ed just said. We're denying the facts and stuff like that. That is false. Not true, Edward.
Right, but who the fuck he is to determine if we're dangerous or not? Who the fuck are you?
I don't get what that is.
What sort of pedigree are you from that you can determine anything about anything?
Dude, he's conflating. That's what I'm saying.
He's a nobody. That's weird.
What I'm saying, you start to conflate this gynocracy business and his talking points, and you try to put that onto us, and you project that because we have a disagreement politically. That's the wrong horse, bro. You cannot tag us with that. Our content don't have anything to do with that, bro, at all. At all. And like I say, man, we got content that goes back, man, where you guys, I mean, we're not going to talk about that. But this, at the end of the day, bro, when it comes down to that, you guys don't want to do content when it goes back and forth on that kind of level, bro. Trust me on that. So let's keep it within the bounds of what this is and just stay there. But please, if you're talking about us being not accurate on the facts, then please show us where that is, because like I say, we're pulling the numbers directly. We're talking about the numbers. If you have a disagreement about the opinion, then that's one thing. But don't talk about us trying to misappropriate facts. That's what you guys doing. Talking about it being a landslide, that's not true. That's not intellectually honest.
No, it's a talking point. It's stupid.
It's not true. Nobody gets 75 to 74 million votes and saying that they didn't have a chance to win.
Like I told you, though, when somebody says that, you're not analyzing anything when you make that statement, though. You're telling on yourself when you say that. Because it's spin. It's light shit when you say that. You're parroting what other people are saying within the Republican space.
But she said herself, we are the underdog. Make no mistake about that. She's always stood on that position that, there's a likely chance that she may not win. So, because she's playing from behind. But what she did was impeccable. I'm not saying whether or not folks should have voted for her.
100 days, and the people, and we didn't pick you through a primary, and you still get them kind of votes. It's nothing to even talk about. You're a fucking idiot if you don't understand that. I mean, that means that you're that means that you're manipulating the environment. That means that you're not being honest, and you're showing yourself that you're not being an honest person.
Right.
You go ahead and play it.
Biden falls, and we're providing, y'all acting like y'all doing all this shit. We're not, like, the Democratic Party is controlled, like all parties are controlled by the elite. We get that. But the Democratic Party is being ran like a super PAC. You can say what you want to about the elite on the Republican side. They don't necessarily like completely what's going on. Trump doing not a lot of a little thing out there. It's a lot.
What they should have done. Okay.
Pause Paradox. What you got to say on that?
It's just dumb. That's nothing. It's just dumb.
But does he even know what a super PAC is?
No.
Maybe it means Tupac. Tupac.
I can't do it.
Tupac so poor.
You wanted it, DC. You asked for it.
I did. That's it. I did.
That means that the Clintons were mainly responsible for let's go all in on Hispanics too.
You're talking about
before the immigration part. I'm speaking on Democratic Party needed their constituency to come out to put Kamala in there for their agenda.
She had no shot. Everybody.
It doesn't matter. They presented her because they had to, and they wanted.
That's what I'm talking about.
Right.
That is what I'm talking about. Making a statement like it's fact when that's basically your opinion, and it's not.
It's Monday morning quarterback to boost your self-esteem and your ego.
It is.
At the end of the day, bro.
It's Tecmo Bowl.
Double dribble. I mean, this is insanity, man. she had no shot. That's why it's like
But that statement is extremely ignorant.
But
because we watched the election play out.
Me saying that that's not true, they're like, oh no, BGS.
No.
I'm gonna tell you what they're gonna say. No, BGS, that ain't they over there. They talking about.
No. Remember something. When you say a flippant comment, that she had no chance, right? As an example of another sports analogy, basketball, and say you lose by 50. Right, we knew you had no chance, right? It was a high school team going against the 96 Bulls. Sure.
Right.
Then of course you would say no chance. If there was no chance, to keep it very simple, how much money did Elon spend?
Shoot.
Why was he working hard in Pennsylvania?
Almost $500 million, about 300 to $500 million on.
Why did he spend so much time in Pennsylvania?
Right.
And you can just keep. And by the way, you can just keep using that example. Now they raised more money on some level. Ended up being very close actually. But what's interesting is that when you frame it that way, then Trump and them should not be concerned. Me and you would have seen examples very early on about I'm gonna give you a perfect example of it. Hillary Clinton, right?
Yeah.
We got this.
Yeah.
And she behaved in a way that showed that, right? We said, "Oh yeah, you're." Am I right? Right.
Yeah, absolutely.
And I fuck with Trump. Did Trump behave in a way the way he had it? I mean, I'm just asking. We got plenty of video.
Joe Rogan for 4 hours on the other programs hit the podcast circuit hard because he got his ass tore up in the debate. And you know when I knew that it was kind of like it was a little bit different kind of analysis going on here. They still said that Trump won the debate, or that the debate was basically even between Kamala and Donald Trump during that debate. I'm like, dude, like, come on now, like it's just certain things, man, like the stuff that they say, trying to make themselves right. They're going to make these changes and reverb everything and kind of rearrange it just to be right. But just because you're trying to make yourself right, remember, doesn't make you accurate. You go ahead and keep playing.
To win. So I'm talking to them. It doesn't matter the shot. They presented her, and ideally they wanted her to win. So what I'm commenting on, she had no shot because not only black people, but even the working class whites.
The whole Democratic Party knew that she had no fucking shot. Okay, if you go back,
the purpose of her putting it in there?
I say what?
See what I'm saying? There's nothing else. There's nothing else. I mean, I'm not gonna argue that point. Bro. I'm not gonna continue to argue that point. We talked about how the party was split, stuff like that. That's what I'm saying. Like, I don't like when somebody.
That's not even how it works. The level of ignorance is on such an extreme level.
Low information.
The level of ignorance. That statement, that level of ignorance is extreme, DC. If you don't understand how parties work, you make dumb statements like that.
That's what I'm saying. So you see how hard it is to be around somebody like that.
And I'm gonna tell you something, DC.
Be around somebody like that.
I'm gonna tell you why I don't like explain
and allow them to get away with it and not check it right then and there. That ain't true, BGS. That ain't accurate. That ain't what happened.
No, it's not even accurate. It's elementary. It's first grade. It's childlike.
And he gonna
if you don't understand, if you do not understand how, I mean, very fundamental of how party system works. We don't have time to explain it today. We don't even explain it because you should just know these things at your age. But like, if you do not understand, it's just it's just an unusual statement to make, though.
Go ahead, Mike.
No, it's a calculus course, and like you said, Paradox. If you don't understand that, then you have to go back to 099, remedial at community college. I mean, that's why I called them low information, because not understanding that the party was behind her. Now you can argue whether or not Nancy Pelosi didn't want her or they wanted Obama. Gavin Newsom.
It doesn't matter. That's not how it works.
Right. You and I agree.
It doesn't matter.
That's crazy.
You and I agree on this, but they don't agree with that. They think that the party wasn't behind her. That doesn't make any sense.
Was the Republican Party behind Donald Trump? I don't even want to talk about it. I mean, it's just so stupid, bro.
But here's the thing, Paradox.
Oh my God, bro.
Here's the thing, Paradox. If you go back to 2019, the Republicans didn't have an open primary with Trump when he was in office. In July 2019, they didn't have an open primary. GOP said on record, you can go on the GOP's website. They did not see a reason to have an open primary with Trump sitting in the White House. Go on their website; it's right on there.
If you think that any other Democrat would have been able to pull off a better candidacy than what Kamala pulled off in those number of days, you're fooling yourself. In the environment that we was in, with the environment being laid out and what everything was happening at the same time, and the talking points being leveraged against the Democrats, it's not reality.
Understanding coalitions, just so much.
Yeah, it's just
so much. It's so many things that are happening to even. I just
come
don't
on,
even,
man.
I don't even. It's just weird, bro.
It's just. This is how people can get their minds shifted, man, based off false information. That's just a fact. That's a fact. And like I said, this is where there's the difference between having an opinion about something and then basically being able to see the facts and being able to say, okay, that's what it was. I don't think, you just disagree. You disagree with her running. You disagree with her being a candidate. That's where your angst is. For whatever reason. Fine. That's what you disagree with. But to sit there and say she had no chance, this and that other, all of the Democratic Party was against her, that was never the case, bro. You can't run that way. That doesn't make sense. That's not reality. You don't raise that much money.
She wouldn't even be the candidate, bro. It's just dumb. It doesn't even. It's so stupid.
It's just hard because, like I say, no matter what we say, right, it's going to get reverbed and reversed and this and that other, and they're going to remix it and they're going to align with him on this. So go ahead and play it. But we're getting it all out. We're laying it all out. It is what it is. You can make the decision on how you want to.
What was the purpose? What was the purpose? Because they didn't move like that.
I just explained to you why the purpose. Okay, I just explained to you the purpose of the neocon.
Yeah, because they needed to.
You gonna let me talk or what?
All right.
Well, explain it to me.
These goofy people can't even communicate with one another. More or less, worry about the Codebreakers. Learn how to communicate with one another. You're on the same team, dummies. Jesus Christ, bro. These idiots can't even talk to one another, and they worry about the Codebreakers. And how long have they known each other? For 20 years? Jesus.
Okay, since you
like you said about bipolar, all the stuff that was going on, I understand that. But you're saying that they put her in there with no intention for her to win.
No, what I'm saying is, okay, the thing is, did they have intentions for her to win? Yes, but most of your Democratic Party.
Oh, so now, Lord Jesus Christ.
Hey,
this man don't know what's up and what's down, bro.
That's what I'm saying. You see how he would bend and just to be right, just to say, I told you so. That's his favorite thing. I told you this. I told you that. I told you 2 years ago. I told you 2 months ago. We've been going over this hip line and we've been like dissecting it. I know the ins and the outs and I know the inside. Man, you ain't left Los Angeles in like 30 years, man. Are you serious, bro? Like you talk about, dude, anybody that has any kind of knowledge of being here for any amount of time, they'll tell you what you're talking about doesn't make sense. It's not what's happening. That's not true.
It's not reality.
I'm done, bro. That's. I mean, it done got so stupid at this point. I can't play no more. I'm losing brain cells,
bro. Man,
we done 2 hours. That's more than enough time.
That's more than enough time.
On a good Easter Sunday.
Listen, man. Listen. This had to be done. I appreciate my partner in crime, my partner in righteousness, Paradox, man. You know what I'm saying? I know you did not want to do this. I'm sorry for dragging you into this, man. Let me say that over there. This is not something that he wanted to do. So like I said, man, I think that there's some intellectual integrity that needed to be done, and I think that we elocuted the point about where we stand in this situation. We've given up enough examples.
I'm my brother's keeper, man. Look, you know what I'm saying? Like, you the cousin that called me up. Like, I don't know what's going on. You know what I'm saying? I don't know what you done over here.
I'm like Denzel and Devil in the blue dress, right? Calling a
Right.
cousin. He like, yo, he come up. He just like, you told me to shoot this motherfucker. No, I didn't tell you to shoot him yet. Like, you gotta hold on. I'm questioning him, man. Goddamn, easy. Yeah, you easy. You right. You just want violence first, and then we can talk about it. Like, man, I'm trying to talk to this guy. I just needed you to back me up, not go crazy. Well, you know what I'm about. You know, you called me. I thought we gonna go. So yeah,
they don't want to talk, bro. They want to slander, denigrate, misinformation. I don't like I said, I don't really understand where it's coming from.
And we didn't even get.
They could be worried about, I guess.
We didn't even get to the. I wanted to play a little bit further, but you know what? It's not necessary.
We could play it. Was there a certain part? We can just do that little bit of it, and then
where he was talking about our program. I just really want to go over that really quick because I want that to be shown. I want that to be shown because at the end of the day, that's the most important part. So you can fast forward through it, and because that trying to police our program, that's really what triggered me to do this. Really, to be honest.
This is the most I've watched of these clowns in my lifetime. It's too much. I can't. You're killing me, DC, but I got you. I got you.
Just give me 15 more minutes, man, and we be
out.
But
do you know what part was it?
It's further down. It's towards the end. I think it's where they're talking about
that came out of your mouth. That's really what that is. That's some female shit, and that's the thing that kind of annoys me about a lot of these conversations. Is it's like all this doesn't matter how much you prove and show because it's you saying it's wrong.
Right.
That's not what means.
We already got.
And I don't mind the black brain disagreeing with me, or even the Codebreakers agreement. Your thing about political discourse is Jasmine Crockett and what's his name? Okay, what's his name? That's it. All the shit that's going on. That's all you guys can talk about. Really?
See, pause it.
The whole for 4 hours.
Pause it. You see that, right? Anybody that listen to that program, just go back and listen to it. He's lying. He's lying to you guys. He's making you seem like he's making it seem like that's all we talked about on that whole program. That's not true. It's false.
So what if we did though?
But I'm saying,
what are you gonna do about it? What's your point? I mean,
but the fact that you're trying to say because we're talking about Jasmine Crockett, that devalues our program, this and that other, and you talk about black women that are not even known, black women that you're trying to exalt to some kind of power position and lower yourself in the dynamic of making other black men feel like they got to capitulate to black women that y'all say that degrees are not important enough to get. I've never been in an intellectual space where black men are basically talking about intellectual stuff and sitting up there saying, nah, hey, look, college, that's for the black women. They go to college and that other. But everything that you're asking for, everything that you want to get done are done by judges, lawyers, litigators. So the person that you most likely going to go to that's going to be black, guess most likely what she's going to be because you're telling these men not to go to school just to pick up and do something else. You're telling them to do something else outside of the academy. And guess who you're going to end up going to anyway to try to get something done? It doesn't make sense. That's what I'm saying. Like, this is just like the defeatist kind of attitude of trying to sell this nonsense to younger black men in particular. I'm never going to sit there and say, hey, look, you doing the trade means that you devalue. That is bullshit. That is nonsense. Nothing like that. You have a say just like everybody else has a say. But guess what? If you are a brother that want to go to school and get that particular degree, this and that other, I would never talk down on that because we need you too. That is craziness to me. That ain't that important, man. These basket weaving degrees and stuff like that. This is saying stuff that just doesn't make any sense.
Sound like white people, really. I think they get a lot of their talking points from white men. That's what it sounds like.
It's that white manosphere shit. See, like when they first, this is going back.
I hear it.
But that's that white manosphere shit that you picking up on those points, but you're picking it up from the weaker vessel of white men.
Yep.
That's why when Sam Cedar go in there, a liberal man, by the way, he whipped them dudes. He whipped them. It wasn't close. And then he laughed and he clips it up because he's just like, you guys don't know what the fuck you're talking about.
20 versus 1.
That's what I'm saying. And then you're going to go and parrot these guys and try to reverse it into blackness? No, I ain't down for that.
Definitely weird and very deceptive, by the way.
Fuck Rollo Tomasky. Rollo Tomasky ain't never been nothing that I looked up to. I don't give a fuck about him or the MGTOW, any of that shit. Don't mean nothing to me. You see what I'm saying? Like that white stuff that they do, I've never been on that kind of time. Period. From the beginning. Never had.
But those are his masters, right?
But that's what I'm saying. So when they come out trying to, oh well, this is this we're the man. No. That's what you doing. That's where you came from. You came out of the white space when you talked about that kind of stuff. It was already black men online doing that for black issues already. You didn't invent that. You guys didn't invent that.
So he's really a white boy.
You did not invent that shit. It's not the truth. It's just not true. So when somebody showed them the truth, they'd be like, oh man, now you trying to divide. No, I'm not trying to do that. I'm trying to tell you that there was already voices there. You came in with that kind of focusing on women bullshit, and that's what white men that are on the weaker side of white men, that's what they do. Don't you know that they laugh at these dudes? They laugh at them. They laugh at them.
We just saw what happened with Jason Whitlock.
Boom. There you go.
But now,
hours. Okay, not an hour, not 30 minutes, not.
What that tells me is that they see. I always ask the question, who are the next people up? And that tells me the other than Jasmine Crockett, they don't know.
The thing is, if you want to talk about Jasmine Crockett, that's fine for a half an hour, maybe an hour, right? Okay, fine, okay. But all this shit that's going on in the political realm, domestically and internationally, come on.
But that's why I don't like Professor Black Group, but I listen to Professor Black because he can cut it down in 10-minute bites.
Really, nigga? Really? You're gonna give us advice on how to talk about politics on our channel? Are you for real? I thought you don't do domestic politics, BGS. Stay in your lane. Don't police nothing over here. You don't got nothing over here, bro. Like it's a nothing burger. We don't look for your advice. We don't look for anything that you got to say as far as how to run a channel. That's fine. That's fine. You can have 100,000 million followers. We don't give a fuck. But just sitting up here trying to dictate what we're talking about on our channel, we good on that. We good on that, bro. This is the thing that gaslighted me the most because I'm like, this man is actually talking about trying to sit up here and regulate our channel. Are you for real? Because see, that's what it's about. Well, y'all should be talking about this. No, we should be talking about what the fuck we want to talk about. Period. And that got to do with me, Paradox, and used to be with T. That anybody else don't got anything to do with Codebreakers, bruh. Period. Period. I don't understand that. That's crazy work. I could see if I asked this man for advice. It's never been done, people. I never asked him to share our link. Never asked him to do any of this stuff, and don't care. To be honest with you, I don't care. And like I said, it's not being disrespectful. I'm just relaying the facts because you're coming out trying to dictate what we talk about on our channel. How dare you? When you sit up there and talk about black women as if you're powerless in that dynamic and talk about the black garnocracy as running stuff? Are you for real? And racism is not a real dude. Get.
And he's a civilian, but it's okay. Mm-hmm. I don't know why the China is bringing this stuff out now. Come on, man.
He was being rhetorical when he was saying that.
No, he wasn't. No, he wasn't. He was serious. Okay, he wasn't being rhetorical. You don't know. Okay.
I heard that when you went through it. I mean, because I heard it when I heard it. You know, it's like he does that. I'll give you clips to show you other times. But he'll ask questions he knows the answers to. Because I mean, I get it. You've been listening longer. That's what you have to say. But it is.
Well, there's certain after doing this for God knows how long, right? There's certain key terms, key words right now. Okay, Trump. What is Northern Europe? Basically, kill the UK. Okay.
Yeah, their survival. They're
for over 20 years. I don't want you.
One thing, just one. That's what is then I'm the person to talk to about what these people really think as far as the voter electorate. She tends to have at least more of an understanding. Chat don't be like it don't be a whole bunch.
I was there listening. I was there listening to it.
That's
okay?
Pause. That's the
and that's another thing. People do be in the chat. I've been on there. Like,
the Nina Turner situation. Me and Paradox talk about Nina Turner all the time. That's how I know that you guys don't watch our program. That's what I'm saying. We even talk about how the Democrats basically abandoned her and how she went running to Bernie and them. In fact, we brought it up the program before when we talked about her and Killer Mike riding hard as being black proxy for Bernie Sanders. We talk about it all the time, bro.
She was a surrogate for Bernie in 2016.
It's just this right here. That's what I'm saying. Like this kind of disingenuous where it's just blatant lies. That's the frustration, not the disagreements, the lying about who we are and what we stand for. That couldn't stand. It couldn't stand. Absolutely not. And like I said, I try to let it go, leave it alone. Don't do this, don't do that. But after a while, they start to make this seem like, this is what it is. And you're going to just run with it. You're just going to keep going. You're going to just keep going. Obviously, you just keep going. Keep going. How? That's what I'm saying. Like this stuff that they're doing, this is crazy work. And then like keep playing because this is an important part too. This is what I want to
like every once in a while, and then I'll be there for like an hour, and it's like y'all don't be looking at the chat, even though it don't be no motion in the chat. So I know
if you go to my channel, my Livermore channel, I actually put in posted with your link and it said join me. Okay, I was there. So I want to hear that shit.
So y'all don't be looking at y'all chat all the time because I've had situations where I've been up there I've been in the chat for an hour and a half and like consistently. So y'all don't be looking at the chat, and that's kind of video management.
But
I know that.
I don't tell people how to run their show, okay? And I really don't care how you run your show. But if you see
what I'm saying? You see what I'm saying? That's where people got to see. This is where he has contradicted himself about 3 or 4 times. We had already seen this in just this particular program alone. No Democrats supported her. No, they didn't want her to win. Yeah, they did want her to win. That kind of stuff, like this kind of stuff is what happens.
The master of deceptions.
This kind of stuff is what happens. He changes and he basically moves and grooves until he's proven right. Instead of conceding the point and being like, yeah, that's not really what happened. That's not really what took place. I disagree with them on this. I think they're stupid. I think they're dumb. I don't think they're that smart. I think they're being intellectually dishonest, blah, 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 blah. But then, it's just that kind of thing. But don't try to sit up there and say, well, you need to be talking about this. You're talking about Jasmine Crockett all the time, blah, blah, blah. That's not true.
Well, if it wasn't for you, the chat would be turned off. I hate you niggas. I don't care about no damn no fucking chat. What are you talking about, the chat? Shut the fuck up.
You sit there and say these things about what we should be doing and then say, I don't police your channel. It's not one time that I sat there and try to say anything about how Ed does his programming, how you have done your programming, BGS, even with all the disagreements that I may have. That is your audience. That is your group. I apologize for what I said about them being under your wing, this and that other. I left it at that. I let it go. This continuing to do this, what this happened, this is the continuation of not letting us be. Period. And basically misrepresentation of what we stand for on this particular program, because you lied on us continuously. Even when it comes down to our coverage, you lied on us. It's been proven on this program. That's a fact. Continue to play real quick.
If you have Mike V and you come call me, I say, come over here. If you actually want to debate this or go back and forth with it, and for 4 hours, we don't get a chance to come up, I want to hear it. I did my due diligence. I'm not going to do it no more. Okay. To me, I'm done with it. Okay. Yeah. I told you. I said, I've tried with you guys, right? I've tried with you guys. You invited me. Okay. You invited me and AB to come through. Okay.
Pause it again.
Guess what happened?
Pause it again. Again, AB had nothing to do with it. I was speaking directly to BGS. I didn't invite AB. That's what I'm saying. So he adds this extra stuff, this extra sauce to it. Go back and read what I said, BGS. Read what I said. I told them, if you have any disagreements, you can always come to our channel, which is the truth. Which is the truth. You can come on our channel when we drop the link. Come up. That's not saying that, oh, we're gonna automatically just go in, we're gonna do a program strictly for you and this and that other. Please, this no, that's not what happened. That's what I mean by maneuvering and trying to make things seem a certain way that it's not accurate. It's not true, BGS. It's not true. Anybody, if you left the comments up, because I know you're good with deleting comments and stuff like that, but if you leave the comments up in the chat, stuff like that, I've been pretty much telling it straight down the line about what our interaction has been and what the issues has been from my point of view. You're the one that's basically misconstruing everything. We dropped the link a long time ago in this particular program, just in case, and that's the reason why I don't look, man. To me, this goes deeper than even the intellectual kind of wranglings and stuff like that. This is about integrity at the end of the day for me. Because I really try my best not to have ego carry my content or what I'm saying directly. Sometimes I can fall short of that, but when I do, I immediately come back and say, look, I apologize. I'm wrong on this, and that other. I apologize to Art for basically disrespecting this program. I apologize to him, BGS. That's what I'm saying. That's another thing. I apologize to my brother, both privately and online. It's been done. It's been done. But go ahead and play. Go ahead and play a little bit more. I mean, before we get out.
All right. We got there and we had to sit on the porch waiting for you to let us in. Okay, fine. No harm, no foul. I could actually, I don't really have, if I really want to comment on your shit, I don't even have to go to your channel. I could do this here. Because we got what? 170 people watching. How many people do you have watching when you're actually on? I don't need to come to your channel to speak. Okay?
See that?
I can just simulcast.
So there goes the truth. There goes the truth. That's what you're on, BGS. This is an ego stroke for you. You say it's
so
not.
What's the truth? That they love us? That they're obsessed with us?
But the truth is, he said, well, my channel is not supposed to have more than 500 people, right? That what he says, Mike V? Technically, my channel was supposed to be for a small group of people, just not no more than 500 people. That's it, select group of people that really understand blah, 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 what I'm saying, trying to whatever.
That's
other
correct.
people, not. And when it comes down to it, you do that as proving the point that what you're saying is basically more accurate or more online to more in line as far as being correct because you have more people watching you. When both me and you know that's not the truth. That's not the truth, BGS. But then you want to do the so-called YouTube supremacy thing. Cool. Keep playing. That's cool.
Whatever you guys are talking about and comment on it if I really wanted to.
Yeah.
But the thing is, for the most of what you're saying, for me, it's like, okay, it's civilian level. That's why I call it civilian level. You're not really getting into the meat. There ain't no meat on them bones, okay?
So pause. So why listen? We know that you're listening now. Why listen then, BGS? Why? Why pay attention to us? Well, we say we should be not even on your radar. If somebody brings up, I don't even know what we're talking about then. They don't know what they're talking about. Keep it moving. That's fine with us. We don't got no problem with that. It's the misappropriating what we're saying over here that gets me. That's the part that I basically shown throughout this particular program. I want that to be honed in. That's the situation here. That's the beef. You remix things to try to prove yourself right when you're dead wrong. We never had no problem for that. We never asked for that. We never asked for your advice. If you think what we're talking about a civilian level, cool. Go and do your content. Continue to talk about stuff that you don't know nothing about or piggyback off other people's ideas. Fine. If you got an audience that loves that, then that's fine. That's not for me to decide. I don't go over there talking about what you should and shouldn't be talking about, BGS. I don't do that. That's not something that I'm going to do. So that's belaboring the point. Why listen to somebody that you don't get nothing, no information from? And this even goes way before we even had the situation. We know that you listen to us. We know you do. But then you're gonna sit up there. Well, I don't really listen to them. That's just, but I'm really trying to understand, because, like I said, at the end of the day, that's where this doesn't belong. You wouldn't have done a 2-hour stream on us, bro. Like that's craziness. You could have came up yesterday and had your say. It probably wouldn't have went well for you, but you could have came up there and had your say about whatever you disagree with or whatever you thought, since we're civilian level and everything. And you're the expert. You're the ones that saying that you're the expert, not us. Not us. We didn't say that. Fine, civilian, pedestrian, whatever you want to call it, common folk, whatever. Knock yourself out. Knock yourself out. But this is disingenuous, BGS. Disingenuous, bro. Go ahead. Keep playing, man. We almost done.
Anyway. Damn, that's fucked up. They keep primary.
You know why they try to go after Cynthia McKinney? It had nothing to do with everything. She's going after the bank. Okay, Cynthia McKinney. Subprime mortgage and all the crap that's going on with these banks and mortgages and some of these houses well before it actually struck. Okay. That's why they went after her. Okay, she warned us about this in 1998. They put Bill Clinton got the repeal of Glass-Steagall through, and 10 years later, guess what happened? The whole banking system fell. She warned us about this shit. I actually talked to her. I said, "Baby, I know you tried to warn us about this shit." And she said, "Baby, I tried. I tried my hardest, and nobody would listen."
Yeah, man, the Democratic Party really need a Tea Party moment. They really need, but the problem is the way they're structurally built.
They did have a Tea Party moment. It's called the Bernie Bros. They left.
Well, yeah, they crushed that shit.
No, they didn't. No, they didn't. It's still around, boy. I listen to them.
Well, I mean, you don't hear about it like that.
I listen to them. Benghazi, this shit from. That's why you don't understand. Well, why are they doing this? Okay, because you never looked outside of your bubble. Why are they bringing in people? That's my fucking problem. Y'all don't.
There you go.
You guys are supposed to be experts at this shit, and you're not. That's my problem.
Rewind.
You guys knew what you were talking about. I could understand, but y'all don't even know what you're talking about.
We want to get.
There's going to be a point where this will not be public for you guys no more. I'm not going to trust sponsoring these people to actually be in here and actually pay for them to actually be here. They want more taxpayers.
There's the grip.
Republicans knew it too, because they had a whole secret panel on this shit. Wasn't publicized. Was never broadcast. Okay, this is insider shit.
Yeah,
and trust and believe, man. There's going to be a point where this will not be public for you guys no more. I'm not going to do it no more. Okay, it's going to be on my Patreon or nothing, because I'm getting tired of this. Okay, all this back and forth, and y'all don't. Thing is, I understand if you guys knew what you were talking about, I could understand, but y'all don't even know what you're talking about. That's my problem.
Wait, can you pause it there for a second? This is coming from somebody who said that they don't follow domestic politics in 2023.
Unbelievable.
This is somebody who says that they didn't follow domestic politics. So he never covered the midterms to understand what the momentum was for Democrats. Trump's endorsements for the midterm, 7 out of 8 of his endorsements failed. Okay, it gave Democrats an upper hand in the House. So, or at least in those special elections. I'm not entirely sure why he's saying this. It doesn't make a whole lot of sense. Because the argument that was made before on Art Newstalls was that he doesn't believe in taking sides and he doesn't follow domestic politics. How do you go from not following domestic politics and not believing taking sides to getting behind a white nationalist conservative movement like MAGA and saying that she never had a chance and you predicted all of this? I don't get that part. And that we don't know what we're talking about. We're civilians.
Well, the other contradiction is, I don't know if DC remembers this some years back when you had him on the show. You tried to get his feet to the fire on was he left or right, and then he said like he's 51-49 or some bullshit on the left.
Yeah.
So is he a Democrat? Was he a Democrat at that point, or he was following the Democratic Party or something?
Here it is, right here.
I don't want to misquote it. I know a lot of people are grifting off of the Republicans and off of MAGA because they're the ones that's hot right now. People are
Right.
changing and bending and converting themselves to all,
Right.
to try to be a part of something while it's running.
Here's this analysis over the last election cycle. Kanye West in 2019 or 2020, or was it 2016? DC. When did Kanye West run for president?
I think it's 2020. If
2020.
Okay, so 2020 he voted for Kanye West. Okay, this is public record. 2024 he's pushing for RFK. This is who he thinks are viable candidates, or this is his engagement in politics, is through the lens of third party, right? No harm, no foul. But the people that you're choosing have absolutely nothing to do with getting to that next level, right? The idea that, these people can make moves and things like that. They're not the movers and shakers of the industry, especially Kanye West. Even at that time, he was not a mover and shaker. Now, did he meet with Trump or something like that? Maybe, maybe not. But the point that I'm making here is your engagement into politics, your gateway into politics, is through these nefarious people who won't do anything at all, right? So you're basically wasting your vote, which is your prerogative. Right? Go ahead,
this is the thing, though, Mike. That's perfectly fine. That's perfectly fine. He can waste his vote. He can have his reasons for voting for, Ron Morris. I don't. It doesn't matter to me. The point that I have with him when it comes down to it is that when he goes into trying to prove somebody else wrong or prove somebody else inaccurate, this and that other, he does all of this thing where he kind of like moves these people and make them bigger than what it is. He made RFK into a real candidate. Nothing. It was not real. It was never real. That's what I'm saying. So he moves him up and he pushed down Kamala like she doesn't know what she's talking about. She's not qualified. He says this. That's what I mean. That's the stuff that I don't appreciate when he's trying to prove his point or why he make the decision to make the kind of decision that he's made. You don't have to do that. Just stand on your decision.
That's kind of where I was going with it. What I'm saying here is these candidates that he's elevating are candidates that are non-factors to begin with. And so to say that you made these predictions that she would not win based on the candidates that you've been supporting that did not even have support from their own family members. It's not like the Kardashians came out and backed Kanye West too or something like that with like $100 million. It's not like the Kennedy family came out and endorsed Robert F. Kennedy Jr. In fact, they came out on record and denounced him from running. His own kids had exposed him. How do you get behind something like this and then come and tell us that we're civilians? Right? That's my thing. Because people who don't know that you guys have done content the last, X amount of years and been covering all of this stuff before, they think you're new to this. They think that you don't know what you're talking about and that the Black Brain Trust doesn't know what they're talking about. They're all civilians, they're all pedestrians. And he magically has proven that, he predicted that she was going to lose, but you can't find any evidence of any of his analysis anywhere. No maps, no polls, no data, no nothing. You can't find any evidence that he predicted anything, but he did predict it, and it's true because he says so. In that we're up here, filibustering and not knowing what we're talking about. You've been talking about Jasmine Crockett for like 2 hours, but when it was only really like 10 to 15 minutes. People who on the outside don't know that. They don't know that what he's saying is not true. And so we're forced to actually have a conversation like this to correct the record so that we put everything on the record.
Right.
But DC, has he ever been wrong? Because that is also a tale of what is it? Egomaniac, maniacal. What's that word? That big word?
Oh, he's been wrong plenty of times. That's what I'm saying. Like I told him that.
No, I said, does he say he's wrong?
He says it when it's like it's blatant. Yeah, he'll say it, but like if he can remix it and reverse it and kind of figure his way to make it right, he'll do that too.
So he's not Trump, is what you're saying, basically. Okay.
No, he's not. He doesn't have that ability. No.
What is it called? What is it called though? A megalomaniac? Is that the word?
Yeah, megalomaniac.
Where people will still cover for you. And like I said, man, I know that people are going to be mad at me in particular and Mike for doing this. But if you really, really paid attention to this situation and from the very beginning how this started and how this ended up being to this particular point, We tried to let this go. Like I said, this is not something that I wanted to do. But when the integrity of our channel and lies are being blatant told about us, especially like with this stuff, they're talking about how we viewed the election, how we viewed our talking points, how we see things and stuff like that, basically totally misappropriating what we say and including other people's thoughts onto that. Yo, that's nasty work.
Yeah,
that's nasty work.
Vote blue no matter who, even though we never told anybody who to vote for.
Never
told
like I said, my homeboy is on the program with me, and we talk about the dichotomies between the left and the right. As of the last program, we disagree on that all the time. It's just, I don't understand what the issue is here. To sit there and talk about this particular program like it's just strictly a lefty channel is a false misrepresentation of our channel.
It's literally insane.
It's not real. It's not real. So
I know y'all, and I know neither one of y'all can't comprehend. Well, maybe you can comprehend it, but on some level, can't comprehend and understand why I even support the party. You made it, it's extremely clear because it's a contradiction from a racial perspective, right? It's an extreme contradiction because of who you're supporting. But like me and you both say, DC, and even Mike, we know that we have to. From my perspective, I have to accept it. But we make things all the time as well, right? Is that these are white nationalists. They're promoting whiteness outside of all the other politics, globalization, Western civilization, history, etc. Right? They, at the end of the day, that's that party. Take it how you want to take it. That's the reality that we're living in. But we talk about that. We confess that all the time anyway. So
just for you doing that, that's what I'm saying. That's what makes you different from these dudes. There's clearly a difference. And that's why they lump you in, because they can't stand that type of honesty, because then we can get to the real shit. We can have a real conversation. That's where you at. That's where it is. Okay, let's have a real conversation about what it is between these two and how it affects blackness at that particular deal, because that's still management at the end of the day. So let's deal with that particular dichotomy for whatever reason.
Well, we saw, like you said, we saw an example of it with Jason Whitlock and that dude, because it's an example.
Right. And then he tried to police. That. Hold on. Well, I don't know who this is. That's just a nobody. What?
Oh, what?
No, but I'm just saying, why are you on our channel, bro, talking about who we play and what we're doing at the behest of what we talk about on our channel? Like I said, if we have a whole planned program talking about Jasmine Crockett in 6 hours, we're going to talk about everything that she does on the house to prove what we're talking about, as far as her being basically one of the most influential members of the House of Representatives. That's just. Dude, Fox talk about her every day.
But
Fox talk about her every day, though. Paradox. That's what I'm saying.
That's not the point. But the thing is that
these other Democratic people.
But the thing is that we're not here to denigrate necessarily politicians, right? We're going to talk. I should say we would talk more about failures, right? Are you failing at a policy? What committee are you on? How influential you are? Are you being pushed? Are they making you the next person up? And then you're which is why we showed a little bit of her video yesterday, just to show that as we move forward, Nancy Pelosi numbers are out. So as the new younger people come up, the party apparatus itself have to decide who they're going to push, who they're going to move, who's resonating with people. I mean, you argue all the time. I mean, the AOC Bernie Sanders thing is kind of in a weird way, kind of a throwback. They're trying to reignite something.
Right.
That's something to discuss. I'm not going to denigrate Bernie or AOC. We're just going to look at, is it effective? How does the Democratic Party as a whole understand what they're trying to do? Are they trying, and like you argue all the time, are they trying to move progressives closer to the Democratic Party? Or the Democratic Party, because we know there is a split there, are they trying to figure out what's the best approach? That's just a process that both parties have been dealing with for hundreds of years. Like, I don't, you know what I'm saying? It's just a weird way of, I don't understand it. Like I told you, it's just unusual, bro.
So
it's very unusual.
This is towards the end. I think it's going to be I just want to end it up on the where he's.
That's my fucking problem. You guys are supposed to be experts at this shit, and you're not. That's my problem.
We never claim to be experts, BJS. Keep going. Keep playing.
That's my issue. So that's why I'm not gonna, I've told AB, man, I'm, in fact, my whole research section said, oh, you should just pull all this shit, man, get off of YouTube. Put all this shit on Patreon. Don't put nothing out there for these pedestrians, okay? At all.
That's nasty work, bro.
I call this election 2 years out. AB can tell you, I call this election 2 years out.
You go.
If you put the guy in jail, or you don't get rid of him somehow, he's going to win the next election. He's your next president. I said that 2 years out.
Yeah, especially after that shot. It was over.
Oh yeah, it was over then. But the thing is, I knew everybody's talking about the polls, but they were telling you that the polls were bullshit. Okay, they were propaganda.
And actually, Biden's internal polling was even worse. They said he won by 400.
Yes,
400 electoral votes.
Yes.
Pause it there, man. That's some nasty work right there. So the polls are bullshit, but the internal polls are good, right? How does that work, man? How do you rationalize that the polls are BS, but the internal polls are accurate?
Well, first of all, we covered all of it, so we reported on all that already.
That's what I'm saying.
You're taking our talking points.
Nasty work,
literally. It's like they're parroting us at this point. We talked about Trump 2 years ago, and Ron DeSantis ad nauseum.
Yep.
About the process and what the MAGA movement really wanted, and on and on and on, and Steve Bannon. And it's just so weird, to hear it almost as if it's just so weird. We talked about all the internal polling. We constantly talked about what they were saying on the outside. I hate to even I don't even want to recite it, to be honest with you. It's from back then. It's from months ago, but it's just weird.
Right. And we said, don't trust the polls. We said that. Don't trust the polls.
But everybody know that. It's not even nothing to know. That's everybody already know that already.
Unbelievable.
And their teams knew this shit. That's why they put almost $3 billion into the campaign, into propaganda, and your press went along with that shit.
You do know that's what you're supposed to do, though. Isn't that the weird part, right?
Campaign fundraising.
When you're trying to win, that's what you're supposed to do, stupid. I mean, this is weird.
I'm not mad at it, but the thing is, you guys are supposed to be fucking experts. You're supposed to be experts. Even after they come out and admit to it. Y'all still like
DC.
Still what? Hold on. No, this is the part. This is the part. Go ahead.
I don't want to forget this though. Do you remember who was Bush's brain? What's my man name? Glasses, bald head.
Carl Rowe. Carl Rowe.
Carl Rowe's expert. Carl Rowe's expert, right? He put Bush in power, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. What happened when Obama won? When he was on Fox News with his chalkboard? When the numbers started coming in.
Oh well, shit. He
Mitt Romney. You remember that?
Right.
You remember? You want to go play the video?
Yeah. No, I remember. I remember.
How was he looking on Fox News on election night, bro?
Looking real nervous, bro.
No, he was trying to explain away what was happening.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah.
Man, it's just a part of the game, man. It's funny to me.
You guys are still spazzing out.
Yeah,
they just
I don't
fucking
think
admitted to
any
it.
more of an insider than Lindsay Lee, and she sounds like me.
Lindsay Lee, the fucking book that they just published about the fight inside the White House, the Biden White House.
Pause it right there for quickly.
Lindsay Lee been proven to be a liar already.
Yes.
That's what I'm saying. Like this stuff is not. You're talking to us like we don't know. No, she's been proven to be a liar. She's an outcast. She's just trying to look for a job. She's grifting.
And she was outed on Piers Morgan by Eric Bolin, who's another libertarian conservative, right?
Oh man.
Go ahead, Barrett.
It's just so much, man.
Was there any more left y'all want to kill?
No, it's the last part here. We get into the end part because
all that shit was propaganda. People bit off of that shit, man. They knew she couldn't win. Her whole campaign team says it. They probably said it was a long shot for her to win.
Mm-hmm.
But
this is what I'm saying. Like it's almost like
we don't know it's a long shot. The whole coverage, everybody knows it's a long. What are you talking about?
She said it. Lord, she said it.
Jesus Christ, bro.
She said it.
She going against a man that's run a campaign for 10 years, and she ran 400. And no one could deduce that it's a long shot. I mean, come on, bro. Do better.
You guys bit off their propaganda and still biting off of it. I don't get it.
I haven't seen it, but I could be wrong.
Once. I don't think I've ever seen them play David Swickert on their channel once.
Dave,
I don't know if they ever put Rand Paul
David
on
Swickert
once. Okay?
David Swickert.
This
guy.
Oh my God! And Rand Paul. I mean,
what? Are you?
Lord have mercy, bro.
That's what I'm saying. The cherry picking gotta stop, bro. That's what I'm saying. You pick a random Republican out of Arizona that's talking about the economy one time as if we're making that argument. That doesn't make sense.
Why not play?
Doesn't make sense, bro. Like, but let me just say this though, Mike.
But to dictate who we consider valuable, man. I'm not even gonna do an analysis on Rand Paul. That's just funny.
Rand Paul, the same guy who filibustered the anti-lynching bill. The anti-lynching bill he filibustered. This was right after George Floyd.
Man. That's, to me, that's what I'm saying. But just to leverage that and to say that we're not in the know because you're playing David Swickert talking about the economy. That's just pulling off the Raptors, bro. Are you for real?
That's what I'm saying. Rand Paul, bro. If you're gonna pick somebody, I mean, don't use that name.
Come on, man.
Rand Paul.
It just towards the end though. This is what I'm saying about policing our content. This is what I'm talking about right here. You don't tell us who to play, BGS.
Rand.
You don't tell us who to play, BGS. This is crazy, dude. This doesn't have any kind of correlation.
Does he even know who? What's the father name? Ron.
He doesn't do
Ron Paul.
Of course
and the son is named Rand, right?
Right. Yeah. But he don't do domestic politics though. But he knows everything about it. He knows everything about it. Okay. Mm-hmm. All right. Continue to play it. Just
Rand
put
Paul,
there. There's one more thing that I want to kind of comment, and we will be done. We'll be done.
What is Rand Paul? How much more should I say? Rand Paul.
You know where that's coming from, Paradox, is because
I don't.
The perception is that Rand Paul is a third party guy.
Mm-hmm.
We know all about him.
No, I'm saying that's his perception. His perception is that Rand Paul is a third party guy.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Rand Paul
he's the one that tells the real truth. Go ahead, Mike. Go ahead.
Right. No, you just finished my statement.
Yeah, you don't understand politics, then dropping names like that just says everything in itself. It really does, bro. The man said Rand Paul, bro.
Imagine this, Paradox.
I just saw his father speak. I just went to go see it. I went to an event with his father about a year ago. Was it a year ago? Yeah, probably a year and a half ago.
They don't know who they're talking to. That's what I'm saying. They don't have any idea, man. It's weird. It is weird.
The level of stupidity is off the charts, bro.
It
really is off the charts.
Man.
But imagine from a sports analysis, especially
Rand Paul, bro. Come on, man. That is. I don't even know if y'all understand how crazy that is.
Nasty, man. Nasty. Let me explain it to you like this, Paradox. Let me put it into this lens from a sports analysis, right?
Man.
Imagine if somebody was talking about the playoffs today and saying, "Yo, I remember back in the day, Harold Miner was going to be the baby Jordan. He was going to be ill." Mm-hmm. Like that's their gateway into the sports conversation. This is the same thing, pulling on Rand Paul as if there's some kind of revelation to be made by mentioning his name in this conversation, in this context. There's no correlation between.
They chasing ghosts, man. They're just not informed.
That's what I'm saying, bro. You Ghostbusters, you really searching for Slimer somewhere like that.
Man said Rand Paul on a stream, DC.
That's why I thought it was important to play. This is what we're talking about. That's what I'm saying. Like you trying to project onto us. This is not your channel. We don't think like you. We don't see it like you do, and that's fine. But what you're not going to do is try to make something important that's not important to us. That's ridiculous. And then you're projecting on your own audience. You're making them think, yeah, man, that was right. BGS is correct. And I'm pretty sure these people ain't never heard of these, especially David Swickert. He just pulled that. I know he did. That's what I'm saying. Like, it's come on, man. Come on now.
Are we done yet? Because I'm burnt out.
I think there's about 30 seconds left, if I remember correctly.
All right. Okay. Once. Jamal Thomas. Once. Okay. Once.
Jamal Thomas.
Did they put Wolf on there at all? Once.
Wolf.
Richard Wolf.
Talk about that.
Has Richard Wolf been on the channel?
I don't think so.
Once.
He's never going to be. Look, one thing you're not going to talk about is no fucking Richard.
He's talking about Jamal like he's some kind of do you know?
My God.
He doesn't know who he's talking to. It's obvious.
Oh my Lord. Yeah.
It's obvious. Like, I just like, are you for real? Are you for real, dude? That's why it's just like, bruh. That's what I wanted you to hear, because that was funny to me. Yo, do they play Jamal Thomas? Why would we do that? BGS. Why would we do that? No, but not just that. But why would we do that is what I'm trying to understand. Because what I think he's going to say is, well, he's on the inside. He knows the real truth. And he really knows what's going on. They don't know what's going on, blah, blah, blah. Because it's confirmation bias, because he says some things that you like. But the really truth of the matter is that you would see that none of his views pretty much align with yours. And then if he probably heard you talk on a regular basis, you probably
he don't understand. He doesn't understand.
I know.
Richard Wolf is, bro. He don't.
I'm done. I just wanted to play that last part because that is wild to me.
Richard Wolf's not on there. I hate how they said his name this many times on the show, to be honest with you. Richard Wolf.
Oh man. So Mike, man, let me let you go ahead and get your closing statements in, and then we're gonna wrap up, bro.
Yeah, I really appreciate you having me on the panel. Just for the record, I don't control DC or Paradox or the Codebreakers. You
Absolutely
know,
not.
they are, they have their own free will and they operate on their own accord, their own access. So we have no control over it. I have no control over them. Black Brain Trust, we are separate from Codebreakers. Codebreakers do their own thing. We do our own thing. But at the end of the day, we have respectful commentary on politics. So,
right.
Thank you for having me on.
All right, man. Thanks for coming through, man. Appreciate you. Well, I'm your Huckleberry, man. What you got, man? We had 3 hours, so what you got as your final statement?
Oh man, I don't have much. I wasted 3 hours of my life. I can't get back on a beautiful Easter Sunday.
I know, right? I'd be dead if I would rest the rest of this sunlight on this, man. I will say this. This is something that I did not want to do. I really didn't want to do this. But I am thankful for the clarity of the situation. Now that things have been declared, you know where we stand. We know where you stand with it. It is what it is. We do our content over here. You can't police our content. You're not in charge of our content. You never will be in charge of our content.
The man said Richard Wolf and Rand Paul.
No, it's cool. It's cool.
Come on,
but I played it.
Get off the internet, bro.
I wanted to make sure that people got the full context through his words. All I'm doing is just defending our integrity, because
you might as well say Destiny and Aiden Ross.
Dude, come on now.
Fucking idiots, man.
Come on now. So with that being said, we're okay over here. We know that people want to, kind of, unsubscribe. If you feel, funny about this, then yeah, that's fine. Get on.
Yeah.
Adios. Get
Sayonara.
Get to a place to where you feel like the information is more to your liking and more to where it can benefit you. We don't want to force anybody to be in so-called echo chamber. We hate echo chambers. Me and Paradox hate echo chambers. If we start to agree, we try to find an argument to where we actually agree with, to kind of have a little bit back and forth. So we are not looking for that. We're not looking to be thought of as experts. Forget all that. That's not what we're about.
Nah, man, just two brothers chopping it up.
Yeah, and the thing
it's not
is
that heavy.
Even before we even started to do a program, we just like, man, what if it would be cool if we just kind of like record our conversations, man, and just kind of bring it online and stuff like that. And then that's when it kind of took off from there. This is like almost 20 years ago, 15, 20 years ago now. We've been doing this. This is not nothing new for me and him. And like I say, we have been privy to be in certain spaces where we are maybe a little bit more informed. But when we share it, and when
social media don't define us, followers don't define us, commenters don't define us. That it defines you. It makes you relevant. It makes you feel important. I would assume.
Right.
Who cares about commenters and followers? I mean, whatever. You listen. Can you give it to me? Can you give me the Gus T, please?
If you like the program, so what? If you dislike the program, so what? Get as informed as possible.